Why are you talking like adventuring?
Oh my god.
Don't you mean Little Peacock?
Oh my god.
I switched over to English
Yeah.
to hear how he sounded. I switched over almost immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, I thought that might be the case.
I did
We are
not like
live.
that.
So hello everyone.
Hi. How's it
Well,
going? Wait, who's that?
Who's the voice in the background?
Yeah, who's this voice in my mind brain?
Making my triumphant return.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome back.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. It's
Was
good to chat.
it 1.5?
I
Were you on
think
for
1.5 was probably the last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right. So yeah, it's been a bit.
Yeah. Wow. A lot has happened in the Genshin and Honkai community since 1.5. Since the 1.6 stream and 1.6 happening and 2.0 now. So yeah, it's been a very eventful time.
What could you mean, Treevoid?
It's been a drama filled moment of insanity, but I stay well on the outside.
Yeah. Look at and here we are finally in I shouldn't say finally, but we're in 2.0 of Honkai Star Rail. Less 2 months out from anniversary, so that's pretty good. I would hope that they maintain that pace, like have it be up until the 0.6 patch instead of Genshin's 0.8 patches for new regions. But I don't know if when Genshin went into 2.0, they only had 1.6, or if they had a 1.8 as well.
I want to say that it was a 1.6 in Genshin as well. But one of the things that with Star Rail not being an open world, I think you really have to have a bit more pace.
Yeah.
Than have in Genshin, where it's open world. I mean, you can find yourself with a ton of exploration just left undone and have plenty of content. That's just it's not how it is in Star Rail. I get to the end of a patch cycle and I'm like, well, I don't really have anything to do.
Yeah, it especially like 1.4, 1.5, and 1.6. Well, I guess 1.6 a little bit less because they added golden gears. But like 1.4 and 1.5 were pretty dead pretty quick. Thanks, Saraya. Thanks for stopping by.
Oh no, I also need to open chat.
Yeah, you got to have that chat open.
I forgot to have chat open. That was the one thing that I missed.
Yeah. I know that you're so right. This is Lion's gameplay, by the way. So there's a little bit more head load going on with with what he's doing right now. Compared to everything else, so
okay.
Yeah, so we've got quite a bit to talk about if we're talking about 1.6 and 2.0.
Yeah, I mean, we have literally what Lion is doing right now that was introduced in 1.6.
We do pure fiction. We're into our second cycle of it now, which is nice, right? Getting to see how's this going to evolve over time.
I really like that they have created a game mode where you have infinitely spawning enemies. You can kind of play around with it and use it to test out teams and stuff if you want to do that. But also, it's a game mode where erudition is a really good path, which, one of the early complaints within the game was, erudition kind of sucks because it doesn't really do much of anything.
Yeah, erudition definitely struggled in MOC early on. I'm not sure it's been as bad lately as it was at the start.
Yeah, I don't think it was ever quite as bad as people made it out to be, but I definitely think there were a lot of erudition units who didn't really have a place to shine that now do, right? Like almost no one was using Herda at all. And now Herda is a very, very good unit within the pure fiction style. And Himiko, although was fine in Memory of Chaos, also really excels in this game mode as well. So,
I don't know if you finished this most recent pure fiction, but they gave us a stage in 4-2 that was
Yeah.
Ice and Fire Week.
I
and
saw that.
Himiko and Herta got to come in and just absolutely clean house.
Yeah, I
That
was
was-
like, wow, they knew exactly what everyone was doing, and they leaned in very hard into that.
The video that you did was extremely entertaining to watch.
For those who haven't seen it, it's up on my YouTube channel, which I think these guys have been nice enough to link.
Yeah.
You should
In
put
the
a link
description,
in
but
there.
yeah, that was super fun. I tell you guys what though, I had my first YouTube video actually pop off a little bit. And by
Oh,
pop
nice.
off, I do not mean anything big. It wasn't that one. It was the next one I did that was killing the new Echo of War boss, the Swarm boss, using March as a solo sustain and Susha as the primary damage dealer. And for whatever reason, the YouTube algorithm picked it up, and I think the most views I'd ever had on a video was like 50, and now it's over 1,000, which is kind of wow.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't know if this is an issue on my side or others, so maybe somebody can let us know in the chat, but the stream keeps locking up for me on YouTube.
Oh.
Having to refresh.
Okay. There is the link to your video now. Yeah.
Is everything working okay on Discord, or is it?
Discord is fine. Discord is running completely smooth.
Okay.
I'm just looking at the stream on my end here. I don't like. Is it stuttering or is like the stream crashing and you have to reload?
The stream is actually just crashing for me.
Oh.
So again, I don't know if that's on me. It certainly could be.
It could have been when I was tabbing out to grab your video that it got mad at me.
It's possible. It just did it again. It's happened 3 or 4 times now.
Okay,
So
because when I have it up on my phone and it seems to be stable. So
I think we just leave it unless somebody else tells me it's a
Yeah.
problem. I think I'm willing to say it's on my side. The chat is still working,
I'll
and I
keep
just
an
have
eye
no
out,
chat
as
anyway.
well. Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. Hello, Lugard. How's it going?
That's weird. Now I'm really curious as to what the hell's going on with the stream.
I'm looking on my end and I'm not seeing any drops here. Like both from an alternate device and from Streamlabs and YouTube. I'm not seeing any disconnects or dropped frames.
I mean, nothing's happening right now either.
Yeah, but I can't.
I wanted to make sure that things were kind of stable so we can see just what happens right here.
I see. Oh no! See, it just froze again for me. So strange.
Yeah, like everything I'm seeing on my end seems to be
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on it on my... Yeah, it seems like it's okay.
All right.
I don't know.
It's probably on my end. Like I said, the chat's working. The chat is working. So yeah, I have been enjoying Pure Fiction though. I ran through the new one very quickly. I think stage 4 this time took me 2 attempts. So, and that was only because I really just paid no attention through and didn't bring a sustain, and Argenti can hit hard.
Yeah. Yeah, it took me maybe 4 or 5 attempts. But I don't have a built Himiko, I don't have a built Herta. And this was, I did it when it launched, so I did it before Black Swan came out. So my first half was like Kafka and Blade, and as my DPS units, because the synergy bonus is for dots. And my second team was a Clara hyper carry team. Which ended up working out pretty well. I was originally skeptical of how Clara would do in this game mode, but because it's only 4 turns. But I think because of the bonus here, where when enemies take dot damage, their action moves forward. that really helps her get a lot of extra counters in.
Really,
so it ends up working out.
really helps her a lot.
Yeah.
I really liked her in the first one as well. She was a real workhorse for me. Clara is one of those units that, you know, I got her on the standard banner the first week. I think I was 20 pulls in on the standard banner, and I picked up a Clara. And as somebody who's always enjoyed the counter gameplay style, I was super excited to pick up Clara.
Yeah.
She just keeps paying dividends.
Yeah, exactly.
All the time later, still a workhorse.
She's still like the only real counter type unit in the game. I mean, I guess there's March.
Yeah,
but-
Marge has the counter, but doesn't do much damage.
Yeah, like she's the
Clara,
main counter DPS unit in the game. Which is interesting because she's a standard banner unit, right? Like you'd think they would put a more unique function on a not standard unit.
Yeah, it's really interesting. She is, I think, you know, aside from Bronya, who is just outstanding,
Yeah.
I think Clara has probably held up better than any of the other standard banner units. She's probably S tier on day one and S tier today. I think she's really fantastic.
Yeah, I've would I agree with that? Let's see, because who are the other, like, I don't really use any of the, I don't use Gepard, I don't use that, I don't use Himiko. Yeah, I
You
guess.
don't use Japard anymore?
Well, I guess we'll get to that when we get to Penacony, but there is a good use case for Gepard now. We'll see how long that lasts, rolling into when potentially 2.1 characters.
Well,
come out.
I know he's had a place on quite a few teams in the new simulated universe modes because of the way you can just buff his shields to incredibly high levels.
Yeah, like he's definitely usable. I'm not saying like he's not usable at all, but like if I
really haven't used him since Fujuan.
yeah, exactly. Like
With having both Locha and Fujuan in the team, and then I added Huahua, which I had no intention of doing, and
that was a good choice.
I
Huahua
am
is amazing.
so glad that I picked her up.
Yeah.
Like, she is amazing. I am continually blown away. I now am to the point where I rarely use Locha because I'm using
That
Huahua and Fujuan.
yeah, that's exactly the same for me. I was also kind of, you know,
Absolutely up.
on the fence about Huahua, but the more I use her, the more I'm impressed.
Yeah. So what were your 1.6 pickups? What did we pick up in 1.6?
So I picked up E1 Ruanmei. I did not pick up her signature light cone. And I, along the way to E1, this was not my intention, I got an E6 Shui, who is still not really built. But she is ready there whenever I want to invest in her. And then I picked up Ratio's light cone as well. I didn't go for any of his Eidolons though.
Nice. Lion, what did you pick up?
Which one was 1.6? I'm sorry.
Ruanmei and Ratio.
Well, unlike most people who play this game, I picked up an E0 ratio.
Yeah, you're very unique.
Yeah.
Yeah. In a previous patch, the Topaz Argenti one, I think I was pulling for E1 for Topaz, or I was trying to build pity, or I was doing something. And without realizing it, I had been pulling on the weapon banner instead of the character banner.
Oh, no.
So I ended up with 2 copies of Topaz's light cone. So I just slapped that on him and called it a day. So I haven't picked up his signature or anything like that. I did go for E1 for Renmei, as well as S1, which I am extremely pleased with her performance. She's so good.
I agree completely. Yeah. Rodney is amazing, and like both of you, I picked her up at E1. I didn't intend to. I started off just intending to get 0, and then I used her, and I was like, she is going to be a staple in so many teams at this point. I'm going to use her all the time, and her E1 is so good. Let's go get it. I also skipped her signature. I'm a big fan of just having an easier time getting that three-turn rotation for her. So I skipped her signature. I had an S5 memories, so I slapped that on her. I also picked up an E6 Shui Yi and built her immediately. Because Shui Yi is one of those that I was super disappointed was a 4-star. From the moment like the character appeared on the screen in the story, I was like, I don't care when she's available, I'm pulling. Like I'm picking up that character. And then it was like, she's a 4-star. But I still ended up with E6. I actually ended up with E6 before I had E0 run May.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Which
that's
incredible.
incredible.
That's the other reason I wasn't going to keep pulling. I was like, I already got E6. Like every 4-star I got was Shui leading it. I also, for what it's worth, I did lose that first 50-50 for a run. So it was pretty nasty picking her up. But
sounds like my Genshin pulls.
I built Shui immediately, and she has paid amazing dividends. She is so much fun to play. So strong. So fun. I just, honestly, one of my favorite characters to use right now. And I love the fact that a 4-star DPS in this game, I believe in this most recent MOC, I've got at least one stage from 10, 11, or 12 that was a Shui Yi hypercarry team. And she's just fantastic. I really enjoy using her. And then I picked up Ratio, obviously. I picked up his light cone. And then I actually went back and picked up Kafka's light cone, which I had not done the first time Kafka came around. But the game has really added things that light cone just keeps getting more and more valuable. And I was like, and the other one is at the time I said, I'll run Good Night Sleep Well on her, which I have at S1. And that light cone ran on the first ever light cone banner and has not run since then. And I waited to see if it was going to run on either of the light cone banners in 2.0, and it wasn't. And I said, okay, well, I'm just going to go get Kafka's light cone then. And that was partially because I think it was MOC 10 of this most recent MOC, and I threw Kafka in there, and she had crap relics, like, level 9 stuff on. She had her traces at like level 7. She was level 70, like completely under invested, and like 2-cycled the stage in MOC 10. It was like, Kafka just keeps doing work. She's just so damn good. So I went ahead and picked it up and invested in her.
Yeah, I think, like as you said, her light cone in specific, especially with Black Swan coming out, I think has gained a lot of value. I think primarily because of the speed that it provides.
Speed is huge. I got very lucky when I built her that I ended up with exactly enough speed that I hit 160 with Ron May's buff, and so I get the 18% off of the Glamoth.
So you're hitting the optimal speed.
I'm hitting the outside. I literally 160 on the nose with Ron May's buff and 3 stacks from her signature. So it works out pretty well.
Yeah, I do not have her light cone. I have her on an S4 Good Night Sleep Well. But she's doing fine. I've given her a lot of speed substats because obviously I don't get the speed boost from her light cone. So I think my Kafka's at like 148 speed before Ruan May, and my Black Swan is like 145. So I'm trying to push them up because I know for Black Swan you kind of want to hit like 155, 160 ideally as your speed threshold so that she can act before the enemies can act. But I have to factor in Ruan May's speed buff into it. So it's a little bit of speed tuning. My relics aren't quite there yet, but I think where mine are at, it's kind of sufficient for a unit who's only been out for a couple days. Like I haven't even finished farming all the new trace materials for her yet.
Oh my god, tell me about it. Yeah. I'm not happy with this.
Yeah. And I'm like, do I spend resin on it? And it's like, I don't want to spend a condensed thing for trace materials. It'll come.
I have not pulled Black Swan. I didn't intend to, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to.
Yeah.
But at this point, I've actually just been treating it like pre-farming. Because I do not want to pull a character and then feel like I can't use the character effect. Right? Like that's, yeah. I absolutely hate that. It's been a long time since I didn't have something pre-farm. So, but yeah, I'll probably pick her up. I'll probably pick up her signature. And honestly, knowing me, I'll probably pick her up at E1 as well. Because that E1 is
very useful.
Really, really nice. Yeah. Really, really nice.
And I really appreciate that it's a res pen and not more defense down.
It already stacks just so much.
Because she has so much already. Like, defense down, if you don't know, or defense reduction, it caps out at 100%. You can't like overflow on defense reduction. So if you're hitting 100%, then you're just wasting those stats basically, or like the effect of that. So if you have an E1 Ron May especially, it's not hard to hit 100% defense reduction with Black Swan because she just has so much defense reduction in her kit. Between her skill, the way her... I can't speak. The stack she gets. Fiction? No. Arcana. When Arcana hits 7 stacks, I believe it applies a defense down reduction. It would be on her trace. 7 stacks, yeah. When you hit 7 stacks or more on Arcana, you get 20% defense ignore, which is super, super loaded. And then I think she also has a chance to inflict defense down on her skill. Like, she has a lot of different... Yeah, on her skill, she has a chance to inflict defense down. So she has a lot of sources of defense down. And then her signature light cone also provides defense down. So she's kind of just set like that. That's where her character is.
It's defense ignore for her.
Oh, defense ignore. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So for her personal damage, at least, she will be hitting... it won't be difficult for her, or she'll get very close to the 100% at least, or you'll get diminishing returns on that.
I like that she's the way that she's been designed. She's one of the only characters that really wants to build not just some effect hit rate. She wants to build a lot of it. Which is nice for a little bit of build diversity where, most of your other Nihility characters, Silverwolf wants a ton as well, but Pella doesn't need very much. Sampo doesn't need much. Neither do Luca and Quinithan. Welt wants 43. Kafka barely wants any. Yeah. So it's nice to want something other than just attack chess piece.
It's actually funny that there's one other character that I have built like max effect hit rate, and it's March 7th.
I was gonna say, are you gonna say March?
It is,
because that freeze is real good.
If that freeze, when I talked about that video that I had where using her as the solo sustain, I mean it's down to her freeze, her ability to freeze effectively. Do I have her on a Japard light cone? Yes, I do. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good 24% effect hit rate on that.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I really, really enjoy using March as a solo sustain. I don't try to do it in the highest end content. I don't have it in me to do like 50 attempts. Just
resetting for the perfect RNG.
Exactly, yeah. But it's like, you got to get everything just right for it to work out, and I'm not that guy. But it is super fun. I love using it on that boss. I've got a success rate on that boss now of about 95%. The only time that things go south is if the first couple attacks target Sushang, it can kill her.
Yeah.
And if she gets killed, like, okay, well, the run's scuffed. I have to start.
Yeah, I think the other character that came out in the first half of 2.0, Misha, he also, like, effect hit rate isn't bad for him either because of the way his ultimate works. It's 10 hits with the potential to freeze on each hit. So effect hit rate helps boost the chance to freeze. Since his actual DPS isn't very good, he's kind of like a utility DPS.
I have to say that for every bit as excited I was by how strong Shui Yi is as 4-star destruction, Misha feels every bit as she feels strong. And
yeah, like she took all of the power away from him for herself.
My goodness. Now, again, talking about build diversity, though, I love the way they set her up to scale on break effect.
Yeah.
Love the way they really put that together. It's a really interesting set of mechanics for her. It's one of the reasons I find her just super fun to play, because it's a very different play style and a different approach than I can take with just about any other character, which is super cool.
Yeah.
Also, her animations are just absolutely
very cool. Yeah.
I can't help but feel like at some point they were going to make her a 5-star, and then they just decided to make her a 4-star for whatever reason. But she's, it's sort of like Barbara in Genshin, right? Where it's like, why does Barbara have the 5-star animations? But
yeah, I think another character in Genshin is Ga Ming. Actually, like, his animations are very stylish for a 4-star. Yeah. So also another character that's like, I think someone really liked this character when they were doing these animations, because there's a bit of a bias there. Misha does not have that bonus. Misha's animations are garbage.
I have to say that the first time I did the trial, I just looked at the screen. I was like, I'm sorry, does he have a broom? Is that a broom he's holding?
Yeah, like, it's funny, but it's also, like, not very good animation-wise or combat-wise.
The Shui Yi you were showing on the screen is just so disappointing for me to see.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Somebody with my Shui Yi's got, I think, about 6120 on the crit stats and about 160% break effect. And yeah, I do not regret building her. I use her all the time.
Wait, what?
Super fun.
Yeah. Did you dive into Golden Gears much?
I did. I have finished. I can't remember. I can't even remember what they're called. But
Conundrums
of level 5. I think I'm on like tier 5 or 6.
Yeah.
I could keep going. I honestly have mostly been doing the March 7th cheese strat with the Remembrance Path.
Yeah.
But for me, honestly, as much as I like Simulated Universe, and as much as I think both Swarm Disaster and Golden Gears were a pretty good amount of fun, it gets tedious for me, and I'm like, okay, I'll come back, I'll do a couple, and then I'll leave it alone for a little bit, then I'll come back and do a couple, come back. That type of approach.
Yeah, I think they're good, like, quote unquote, like, filler content, like something to keep people busy in between the big story patches. Because really there wasn't much story between 1.2 and 2.0. Like, some stuff happened, but it was kind of dry.
Whatever could you mean?
Especially 1.5. That was an interesting patch.
I think it felt to me like the Jinglu character story actually had the best parts of the entire Lofu arc.
Yeah.
Was wrapped into that. You're like, why wasn't the whole thing like that? So yeah, I think so far, and I'm not going to get into any kind of spoiler territory, mostly because I'm not even through it yet, but I am very much enjoying Penacony. So
I agree as well.
there is this air of sinister.
Yes. One of the very first things that I noticed, which I'm super early in, I've played for a couple of hours yesterday and that was it. But one of the things that I really, really, really enjoyed was the change in tone just based on the music that they chose for everything. It's so good. I'm not, an audiophile. I'm not, some kind of musical expert or anything like that. But it is like so well done. It feels so different from everything else that we've had, and it pops up a lot, in particular when you're speaking to certain characters. So I'm really enjoying it.
We saw in the promos, we saw this Clocky character. So I'm not spoiling anything because if people have seen the promos, that's been out there a while. We saw this Clocky character, and I think the obvious comparisons to Mickey Mouse were made by many people. And what has struck me is, as soon as I entered Penacony, I was just like, no, this really is like Disney World. Like they went with like a classical Disney World vibe. And they are nailing it. And it's really the tone, the music. I love that point. The music is just spot on. But this constant background, that air of something sinister afoot, and I'm not to a point where I have any idea what that might be yet, but you can just feel it. Like, for all of this glossy veneer, something is very wrong here, and hats off to them because they've done a really good job of creating that feeling as you move around.
Yeah, I've finished the story. I finished it yesterday, and just before the stream started, I finished the like Black Swan character quest, and I definitely agree. Like the I guess the quote-unquote vibes of Penacony are very well executed on, compared to, I feel like what was a bit of a miss in the Lofu. So it's a very different aesthetic compared to what we're used to, as you guys said, both visually and from a gameplay perspective. I also think a lot of the enemy designs are a very good change in pace compared to what we've had prior. There's some enemies that manipulate your energy based off what state they're in. There's enemies that specifically want you to have a shield on. There's enemies that really benefit from or are hindered by taking dot damage. So I just like that they're leaning into a whole bunch of different aspects or ways to play, so that it encourages you to vary your roster a bit more.
I agree completely.
Yeah.
I am very early on, but I'm very happy so far with what I'm seeing. Just a lot of fun. Hey, real quick, I would love to go back and ask a question here about Dr. Ratio, because I think Treevoid, you had pretty heavily invested Topaz, as I recall.
I have an E2S0 Topaz, but yeah.
I have just been loving that duo together since Ratio dropped. I'm
Incredible.
curious how you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
They're obviously they're like designed to play well with each other, but when you fight enemies that are fire imaginary weak, like this IPC guy, they are broken instantaneously, and they don't even get to act because they're dead before anything happens. The particularly like amazingly fun combo of you have Topaz and Ratio's ult up at the same time.
Oh
And
god, yeah, that's incredible.
Ratio does his turn. He throws the chalk. Numby acts immediately, which causes Ratio's ultimate to proc, which causes Numby to act again, and then you just go 4 times in a row, and the enemy
So
just
beautiful.
melts instantly.
So I have a fun story to tell. Simulated Universe was kind to me yesterday. I use that combo in World 8 with Relation Path to just have a real quick run through to get my points and get my Immersifiers for the week. And I had already gotten all of the 3-star Elation buffs. And right before Yanqing there at the end, I got Ranmei as the occurrence.
Oh no.
I picked up 2,000 Cosmic Fragments and all of the Hunt Blessings. I also had the Robe of Beauty. So I walked up to Yanqing, started the fight, hit Topaz's ult, hit Ratio's ult, and the fight was over.
Yeah.
Each of them, it was like his ult. Yep, okay, that one-shot him. Then Numby goes, that one-shot him. Then Ratio goes, all right, that one-shot him, we're done. That's it.
I think my biggest issue, and it's not really an issue, with Dr. Ratio is that everything he does is one hit. So if you don't land the crit, it is the most awful feeling in the world.
Oh,
because
yeah,
you
it's
have
brutal.
one chance.
Brutal.
Yeah.
And my build on him is scuffed, to say the least. I was getting just absolutely terrible relic luck, and I think he's only at like 55% crit rate. So I've really had him locked to running short
Yeah.
for that extra crit. But it was, it was one of those things where I could get him at 80% crit rate and 100% crit damage, or 180% crit damage with 55% crit rate, and I took the higher crit damage.
Yeah. But those times when you miss, it is just,
Oh yeah, it hurts.
it hurts so much. But yeah, other than that, like, I'm super happy with Ratio. You know, like, obviously he performed well in the Memory of Chaos because it was the most biased Memory of Chaos I've ever seen.
With a bit.
With the way those blessings, like, not only giving you like 7 debuffs, but defense down and follow-up damage increased.
Oh
Like,
yeah, it was hilariously lopsided.
I was mentioning this to Lion before we started the stream, but I was like, they're doing a really good job selling this character that they don't need to sell because they've given away for free.
For what it's worth, you know what? I love it. I love it, and I'm not gonna dip my toe into the whole Genshin versus Star Rail thing here, but what I love is, whether I like this statement or not, most people would consider me something of a whale. In fact, I believe my brother at Christmas gave me like a whale thing. Fucking whale. And but which means for me, like, I get to feel powerful in the game very frequently, and I think that what they did with Ratio and what they did with that MOC is every player in the game could feel really powerful, right? You almost felt like a whale no matter who you were, because you were set up. As long as you built it, you were set up.
Yeah, and I guess maybe that's a way where, like, people are like, oh wow, he's really fun to play. Maybe I will get his Lyca, or like, yeah, that's possibly one of the reasons.
Maybe I'll get
why
his
we
Lyca.
do it.
Maybe
Yeah.
I want.
Maybe I
want
get
to be
E1.
powerful more often,
Yeah.
right? I could pick up a few more characters. Maybe I want to pick up Topaz to support him. Yeah, I think giving away Ratio is gonna prove to be just a huge win for the game in the long run. I hope it's a sign of things to come.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like it just generated like such a good amount of like coverage for the game and like positive sentiment with the players. Like no one is upset that we got a free 5-star, right? Like, at least like
none of the
players,
Star
of the
Rail
game.
players.
Right. I was about to say, of the players who play the game.
We're steering clear of a certain other Hoyo game for now. We're just
listen,
around that.
right?
Why are you bringing up Honkai 3rd? I don't understand.
Like, speaking obviously of Genshin, I am very, very upset with Genshin at the moment. Not because of the drama, but because I wanted a C6 Gaming. Gaming is the new 4-star unit. And I got a C1 of Xianyun, a C2 Nahida,
Hey,
a
yo,
Jean,
let's go.
and who else? A Jean. Yeah, a Jean and like 5,000 Farazans to get a C5 of Gaming. It was the worst pulls I've ever had.
That is very tragic.
Like when you said you got a E6 Shui before you got one copy of Black Runway, I was like, oh my, like I can't wait to tell this story because I couldn't believe it. I was blown away. Like I thought my Gwen Hyphen pulls were bad. Yeah, but it was just ridiculous. So I was originally, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because it goes into like my pull plans. I was originally planning to pick up Black Swan, Sparkle Signature Light Cone, and 2 more copies of Dan so I could get an E2 Dan Hung. I am now only getting Black Swan. I'm going to pick up Sparkle, but I don't think I'm going to pick up her Light Cone anymore. And I'm not picking up any Dan Hungs. And I'm now going to skip Shao in Genshin, and I might skip Chiori in Genshin as well, depending on like what she looks like.
Did we overspend just a little bit?
Yeah, like, well, I mean, obviously, like, it was just, like, I didn't want to go that deep into it, but I ended up doing it. But also, I was just like, I'm, like, in terms of, this happens with, like, a couple games where it's like, if I have a really bad pull session, I'm like, okay, I'm going to not pull anymore for, like, a couple months, just to, like, wash the bad taste out of my mouth. So that's what I'm doing with Genshin now. And
I don't do that. I don't do that because I lost the Light Cone 75-25 a couple times, and that was painful. That was very, very painful. In the plans department, I mentioned earlier I'm probably picking up Black Swan. I am absolutely picking up Sparkle. I do not skip Harmony units, honestly. Like I don't think there will ever be a Harmony unit I skip. If there's one truth that I have found, especially in turn-based games, forever, you can never have too much support. You can never have too much variety and too much power in your support roster. Like it just always pays dividends.
Well,
But I do plan to pick up Sparkle, and then these have been dripped. So again, not talking spoilers here, but I am 100% all in on Acheron. I don't know what Eidolon I'm gonna stop at. It's gonna be whatever I feel like, frankly.
I was not sold on her until I saw her get introduced in the story. Now I'm a lot more interested.
So I am a massive fan of Allegra Clark's portrayal of Beidou in Genshin. I
As
just
well
thought
one
she
should
was
be.
fantastic. And I'm so disappointed in the community giving her crap for playing Acheron just because they think it should be Raiden and it should be the same person, but whatever.
I mean, she doesn't make that choice. That's
Allegra, exactly.
yeah. Like it's completely
it's not even
ridiculous.
It's not even worth talking about, honestly. It's just disturbing that people get into that mode of thinking. But I've been so blown away by her portrayal of Acheron so far, and so like massive shout outs to Allegra Clark. What an incredible talent! She's really bringing me in both of those characters.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job with portraying the 2.1 characters that have been dripped so far. Aside from Gallagher, but just because I haven't seen him much, but he could be in side quests I haven't done.
Who did they drip?
Adventurine, Acheron, and Gallagher are the three.
Okay.
So I haven't seen much of Gallagher. He could be in content I haven't done yet, but just in terms of like what I saw of Adventurine and Acheron, I'm definitely more interested than I was before. I'm still very up in the air about Adventurine because he's preservation. So I don't know how they would there's many ways they could, but I find it difficult that they would give me a unit who I would want to slot in more than either Fushuan or Huohuo at this point.
That's my challenge as well. Yeah. I'm really gonna need to see what is he gonna bring to the table before I from a character perspective, he's absolutely one that I'd feel fine skipping. At least from what I've seen so far. I don't love the design. He's not my thing.
Yeah.
But I do like defensive units, and I could think of a couple things that would get me excited. For example, if he were a counter tank type unit, that could be something interesting. I know nothing of his kit. I'm not sure there are leaks out there, and I have not looked at leaks in quite a while. So
yeah, I have no, just like you said, I have no context of what his kit is. The only thing I'm speculating on here is the new Forgotten Hall light cone shop has a light cone that has effect resistance and gives damage percentage scaling off of defense. So I'm thinking he could be like a sub DPS tank, which could be interesting, but I don't know. And would I want that over Fushuan? I don't know.
He might just be a damage character.
Of the Path of Preservation.
It's possible.
Yeah. No, I wasn't saying that in like a snarky way.
No. For sure.
It could be, but it's not uncommon, right? You've got Fire Trailblazer and March. Both have defense scaling for their damage, so it's not unusual for preservation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just more curious. Will he actually do? When I see that, I think, okay, maybe they'll do actually decent damage, right? March doesn't do that much damage unless you're doing simulated universe stuff, and File Trailblazer, if you're building him for damage, you're kind of building break effect. You're not really building defense percent on him for his DPS output. So I'm just really curious about what they're going to do with him to sell us on a new unit. Obviously not everyone has Fushuan, or they PS4 players, they don't she hasn't rerun, right? So they haven't even had a chance to get her.
Or Locha.
Yeah.
Right. So you definitely have a situation. And I suspect that's one of the reasons those are being held back. I mean, it's tough, right? I mean, how many sustain units do we need? And I think you're seeing that in the way they're releasing characters. They're just not that common.
Yeah.
To come, and they are. That said, to give a little credit here, I think they're doing a pretty good job of making them all unique, right? If you look at the 3 5-star sustain units that have come out so far, each one of them is very unique in the way they approach that role. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah. I think part of the reason why I use Huohuo more than I use Luocha at this point, because I think they have more overlap than Fushuan does with either of them. Is because Huohuo's cleanse is a lot more frequent and controllable than Luocha's, and she also provides a lot more to the party than he does. He doesn't really provide anything at E0 she provides energy and a good attack bonus. So she's like a more offense-oriented unit.
The offense side of it is absolutely a big reason.
Yeah.
But I will say that I really, if you think about them sort of in their niche, right? What I think Locha does an amazing job is he's fairly brain dead. You put him in the team and he just kind of automatically keeps you alive, right? You almost don't have to think to use him, which is cool, right? Like ultimately there's definitely gameplay points that support that. He makes Blade significantly easier to play because you just don't even have to care about Blade's self damage, right? He makes Clara much easier to play. Again, you're constantly healing Clara. You're constantly healing the team. So there's huge value there, even though he doesn't provide that offense on his own. He kind of unlocks a different way to play. But Fushuan's crit buff, I'm really looking forward to her rerunning. I'd love to pick up her E1 so that it's a crit rate and crit damage buff. I just think that's absolutely disgusting to have all that packed onto your tank.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Like I agree with you. Like Luocha has some units that he works really well with. I just think there aren't enough of like I feel like as more units come out, there will be more units that synergize with him more, and then he might come back into more prominence, right? Because at least for me, at this point, like the teams I'm running are like either dots with Kafka and Black Swan, or I'm running Topaz and Ratio, and so like he's not really providing what I'm looking for. But I hope that as more units come out, there's characters that synergize with him better, and then he can come back into play.
I agree. One of the ways I think they missed the boat with him is, they made him an attack scale, but they really didn't give him the damage to take advantage of that. And I think that would have really set him up well to not feel like he's at a disadvantage to Fushuan or Huahua right now, because if he can be bringing enough damage on his own. Now, the flip to that is, I don't think many of us have actually tried to build him for damage, and given how much he heals, I kind of wonder, like, if you really invest in him and build him for damage, I wonder if it actually is good enough that you go, yeah, but he's not really at a disadvantage.
Yeah. You mean like a traditional like crit build?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure how that works. Yeah.
I've seen people do it, but the thing is that the one guy that I saw do it when he first came out was doing it at E6 S5. And that's, I mean, yeah, okay,
a little bit of a skew there. Yeah.
I mean, he was absolutely a beast, right? I mean, it was insane. But it's E6 S5. Like, okay, that doesn't tell me anything. But the nice thing about it is, I think, you can get a little longevity out of the unit. You can get a little flexibility out of the unit because his healing is so good that you really don't need to build him for full healing.
Yeah.
It just doesn't need that. And since he scales on attack anyway, it's not like you're going to lose out on a ton of his healing.
Yeah. It's not like you're building, max HP on him, or like he scales with HP and then you're losing out on that. So, yeah. I don't even remember how we got to talking about healers. I think we were talking about Adventurine, and then
we were talking about Adventurine.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how Adventurine is going to fit into that.
Yeah, what his niche is going to be. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but yeah, I'm very curious about how 2.1 is going to go in terms of character. I mean, obviously in terms of narrative, but I won't go into that. Yeah, like the 2.0 story, I liked it. I think my biggest gripe with 2.0, and it's kind of a minor thing, but for me, it's like a personal thing. I don't think it's going to be a big gripe for everyone. Is I think the narrative is is fine. I think it's paced pretty well, but I think the rate at which you unlock the new maps, I think, is far too slow for my liking. Because I just want to like hit all the nodes. I want to go look for the treasure chests, but it's all story locked, which I understand why they do that. Like from a narrative perspective, it makes sense why you can't go there. But from a gameplay perspective, I really found it hindering, and that's not something that really happens in Genshin, because when you unlock the new region, you basically get the entire region. There might be like one small cave you can't do, but you get access to almost everything right away, and then you can do the story at your own pace. And I guess this is an RPG. It's more linear in its nature than an open world game. But I did really want to explore more, and that kind of pushed me to do the story, even if I wasn't necessarily wanting to do the story at that time.
I think that some of the challenge for me with that has been I really haven't had a significant amount of time. Right, the reason I haven't finished the story yet is I haven't had those good chunks of time where I can sit down and get into it, because I want to enjoy it. I don't want to just hammer through the story.
Yeah.
And so it's been a little bit of, well, I haven't really gotten to see anything of Penacony, because it's all okay, I got to get through bits of the story. That said, I do think that at the very least, with the sort of the macro structure of the way Penacony is as a world, and the sort of the setup there, I do think it is at least woven effectively into the narrative, instead of just being, you can't go here yet, you can't make it into this area, you can't go here. It feels very natural. You're like, yep, it makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. And again, like, it's more of a personal gripe for me than a fatal flaw of the design of Penacony.
I can understand it. I'm trying to figure out why Lion just gave up Robe of the Beauty in Simulator. That's among the more interesting choices I've ever seen.
Speaking of Lion Simulated Universe, as soon as he loaded into it, I noticed that there were 2 paths missing on his list of possible paths. And that was why is the downloader all weird like that? It's like not loaded in proper. Does it look normal on your end?
Nope.
Oh, okay. That's a weird glitch. It's a weird visual thing. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird.
For what it's worth, the erudition path is fine, not amazing, but the propagation path is disgusting. Some of the things I've been able to do with that path using QQ is just amazing.
Yeah, propagation is like super loaded for specifically QQ and Dill. I think erudition, or the elation path, erudition. I always mix them up. It's just like a really good universal buff, right? Like it's just more ultimate uptime.
Yeah, it's a lot to do with ultimate.
Yeah, which is like obviously like very tailored towards Argenti, but just in general, like who doesn't want more ultimate uptime?
Yeah, I mean it's Argenti uses it, but Jingyuan can use it as well.
Yeah,
still
a couple more stats.
I don't know if either of you use him anymore. I have him at E1. I just don't like to use him at all.
I do.
Yeah, you're a big Jingyuan guy, right, Lion?
I am. I have to be.
More.
It's
more
so on brand for me.
I'm not going to sit here and say he's bad. That's not what it's about for me. I just
wouldn't
don't
call him mid-Yuan.
No, I think he's just fine. I think he's balanced. I do think the backloaded damage thing is something I don't like and doesn't work well for me, but that doesn't mean you can't make him work really, really.
Yeah, stuff like that doesn't bother me. Yeah. It was one of the things I think is kind of neat about Black Swan, where she's supposed to be a dot character, where you would expect the role to be maybe not necessarily front-loaded damage. You would expect something more like a Sampo or something like that. Someone who can detonate their own damage so they're not just sitting there waiting on the enemy turn to do stuff. But I think it's really neat that instead it's more like, hey, how high can you make those stacks go? What kind of things can you do with this? I think that that's an interesting way to go with it. And the fact that you can do a ton of damage if you get those stacks really high is pretty cool. Although, obviously, it would be very hard to max them out. I don't even know if that's possible.
Yeah, to get 50 stacks in a non-simulated universe environment, you probably want her at least E4 or with a King Yun.
Holy shit, are you serious?
Because you want to get a 2-turn ultimate on... if you can get 2-turn ultimate rotations on her, then in theory, your Epiphany buff will never fall off. And so the stacks will just permanently stay up, and then you can stack up to 50. But you know, you're sacrificing things, or you're either sacrificing damage or you're sacrificing your money. So something is being spent here to get up to 50 stacks. And then obviously, if you're in simulated universe, you're triggering dots all the time, so the stacks are going to build up super quickly.
I think simulated universe is really the only place that's going to 50. But you know, I just don't have enough experience with Black Swan yet. But yeah, I agree. Like, it's funny because I will talk about Jinyuan and the backloaded damage and say I don't like, and at the same time, I really like dot units. Like, I have a lot of fun with the Kafka Sampo duo. I have a lot of fun with wanting to bring Black Swan into the team. I like the dot unit, so it's kind of a strange thing. I acknowledge it, but maybe it's just me.
Well, I think, like as Lion was saying, like a lot of the other dot units have ways to proc their own dots. So they're not really back. I mean, they might be locked behind Eidolons, but they're not necessarily backloaded.
Mm-hmm.
Black Swan does not have that functionality. So I'm very interested to see what, like, you know, the zero cyclers think of her in like an E0 S1 scenario. If they're gonna like her, because you know, obviously, if you can't get the damage out by the time your first cycle is over, then you kind of lose the zero cycle. So from like that very niche perspective, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I am not a zero cycle player. Yeah. It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
I want to say that Gotcha Smack did a 1 cycle with her. Now, based on the video, it was on the media server. It wasn't on the live server. I don't know if that makes any difference. But the video seemed to have been taken from the media server.
Right.
But a 1 cycle, I mean, look, you can't get much better than that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're in good shape. And that, by the way, that was a 1 cycle without Kafka in the team. That was a hyper Black Swan cycle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. Like, Gotcha Smack loves to do his weird builds, and I mean they work. Like his break effect Luca is what got me to build the Herda shop light cone for Luca specifically, because you know he does really well. I mean, obviously physical break is really good with break effect, but like it's a really good showcase of it.
I like players that want to do interesting things.
Yeah.
You know, Gotcha Smack has been pushing that. I know EO has been pushing. It's one thing that I like right now in the community is that we've got a fair number of people talking about a fair number of ideas, and with a few exceptions, like nobody's crapping on each other about it.
Yeah, like Star Rail internally is pretty good, pretty good overall. You know, and yeah, I'm happy for that. Less drama, good. There's enough Hoyo drama that we don't need more. And the all the conversations are pretty productive too. Like it's a lot of interesting things coming out.
Yeah, I you know what, I like it. The more people coming up with more ideas and more to play, the more opportunities I have to have. Is my take, right? You know, I do a bit of cooking on my own, but even so, I love hearing and just love being able to chat with folks about, hey, what's working? You know, what are you doing that's you're having fun with? That's why I really like Shui Yi right up front. You know, it's a different way to play, and not a lot of people were building her, and not a lot of people had her E6. And so I kind of had an opportunity to talk about, hey, this is what I've done. This is how it's working for me. This is things I'm learning about her along the way, which is always fun.
You locked that defense rope? Oh, that's interesting.
See. So just in case.
Yeah.
Just remember that he dropped a robe of beauty a few minutes.
I didn't need the robe of beauty, as we just saw.
Yeah.
I know it's just funny to me, right? Like it's one of those things where the robe of beauty is basically always an instant pickup, but I will give you the acknowledgement of you passed it for the man-made meteorite, which I frequently pick up because it just makes life easier getting all the bonuses.
Okay. Yeah. We have very different relics perspectives. I think I would have trashed every single relic I saw there. But
I mean, I'm only gonna roll them to
for
3
to see what the fourth is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm just so fed up with relics that I just see them, and if it's not like 2 crit stats, I'm like, trash. I don't want to see it. I don't want to deal with it. I love the new relic marking system. By the way, I think it's like
100%.
amazing. Being able to trash things as soon as you see it, so it doesn't clog up your inventory. Just like
This is
chef's
junk.
kiss.
This is junk. This is junk.
Yeah.
I like it.
The one thing I wanted to circle back to, because I didn't think of it until after we'd already finished talking about it. We were talking about pickups from 1.6.
Yeah.
So, and it was when I was just screwing around going through this that I noticed a couple of things that I didn't mention. While we had characters,
Ratio.
they had names. Ratio. Ron May, right. While we had those 2 new characters, we also had reruns of a couple of old characters who longtime viewers might know are 2 of my favorites in Blade and Kafka. I actually spent some time thinking about this yesterday as far as my favorite characters in the game. If I were narrowing it down, I got to my top 7, and then from there I narrowed it down to 3, which are in no particular order, although it probably is in order, Kafka, Welt, and Blade. So we had reruns for Kafka and Blade. On the rerun for Blade, I did end up going to pick up his E1, because I said, you know what, I've spent a lot of time playing him. Fuck it, why not, right? During that, I actually lost my 50-50, and I picked up the last standard banner character that I was missing in the form of Yanqing, who, as soon as I finish building Black Swan, this is my next project.
He's already got a lot of crit damage.
But just a smidge. I had some pieces lying around. He doesn't need a whole lot of crit, right? So this is just what I had, and I leveled it a bit, and it's not that good. Like, these are all pretty bad pieces, especially this one. You don't need effect hit rate on him. Jesus.
I mean, he can freeze.
But you don't want effect hit rate. You would much rather have the crit damage or the attack or whatever. This came out pretty well because really I don't need a whole lot of crit rate. Break effect is whatever for him. These are pretty trash. However, in the case of Kafka, I had planned on going for her. I had her at E2, and my plan was over this and the next rerun to get her to E6. by picking up 2 copies. This is going to be my first, knock on wood, my first E6 5-star. Hopefully Bailu will not ruin that. And hopefully Clara will stay the fuck out of it. Jesus.
E6 Clara is crazy. What do you mean?
I wouldn't be too disappointed with more Clara.
She keeps showing up and I don't like it. I lost one of my 50/50s to Clara, and then for Kafka, and then I lost the Black Swan 50/50 also to Clara. I'm getting real tired of seeing her.
Those are W's. That's
How's your Bailu looking these days?
Thankfully, she's still E4.
Wow.
I don't even know where she is in this roster. I've been leveling a bunch of other characters. Yeah, she's still E4. However, Natasha, I finally got her last Eidolon. But in the process of doing that, I ended up getting a lucky, it's like 30 or 40 in, and I ended up with 5 for Kafka.
Oh, nice.
So I've only got 1 left to go. I'm really, really happy. This E4, I didn't think it was going to be that much. It's so good.
Yeah, because does her light cone shock count, or it's a...
Oh, it sure does.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so that's a lot. That's a lot of energy that you're getting.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little disappointed that I can't lose these 50/50s to Welt, because we're still sitting here at 1. Especially since, with the new relic set, apparently it's a small upgrade for him, and it's not like I'm doing desperately well on the pieces that I have right now. These are kind of not ideal. This is my best piece by far for him. And the rest of them are kind of trash.
Have Welt, but in my defense, I still haven't activated my
do it. Get Welt
standard ban. The reality is I'm waiting until there's a time where I actually have resources to build Welt if I pick him up. Right. The issue I have right now is everything is devoted to getting ready for Black Swan. Then I'm going to be prepping for Sparkle. Then I'm going to have a tiny bit of downtime before Akarat arrives. So
slightly longer than usual.
It is, and so we'll see. There might be a window of time, but it's very difficult to do it when I know that I'm about to pull, and I'm like, well, I might lose a 50, right? Yeah. And I can't build them right now anyway when I'm about to pull. So I'm just gonna hold off, and I've held off for quite a while.
Are you missing any other standard banner characters?
I am. I don't have Yanqing.
Oh, okay.
So I have my Clara is E1, my Himiko is E1, my Bailu is E1, and Japard is E0.
Bronya?
And then I don't have. Oh, and Bailu is or not Bailu. Braun.
Yeah, because like E1 and E2 Bronya are both very good. And then, in theory, the road to E6 Clara is also great. Because once you get that E6, she's a totally different character.
I have to say the E1 is actually a really big game changer for her. Not dropping that debuff is a really nice add for her.
Yeah, it depends if you're using her as like a sub DPS or a main DPS. Like if you're main DPSing her, then yeah, totally. But if you're using her as a skill point generator, then it's like it doesn't even take into account.
Well, this goes back to what I said at the beginning. She's been paying dividends from day one. I run teams where she's the main DPS. I run her with Topaz frequently, and I let her skill so that we have even more AoE damage. And Topaz does so well with just her basics that I use Topaz that way. So it's really fun how you can kind of leverage Clara in so many interesting ways.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look at her. She's only got 472 attack. Even my Asta has more attack than that.
And Asta doesn't have a light cone, and Clara has her signature light cone.
Exactly.
What a terrible unit. And look at it. Look at Clara's speed too. Asta has 120. 90 speed. Useless character.
33% more speed.
I mean, the biggest problem with Clara is her so difficult to get crit rate. It is painful to get crit rate on her.
It is. I'm happy to say my Clara right now is just about 7150.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's amazing. Mine is
my
5150.
Pretty well built. That's on a 4-piece. That's on a 4-piece physical set too.
Okay, yeah, like
I've been farming that those relics a bit because I really want to have Sushang back on that set. I've got her on theme set right.
Yeah.
Why is it so hard to get her crit rate?
She has no means of getting crit. Like she doesn't have it in her traces. Her light cone doesn't give anything. Her relic set, like Salsado, gives you 8%. You could run her on Longevis just purely for the crit rate. But she's not making any use of the HP percent compared to physical, where she's using both the physical damage bonus and the attack bonus. So she just has no external sources of crit.
She's not using it for damage.
And at least with her, that HP has value.
Kind of. Like Clara, if you have like any somewhat built sustain, will never die.
That's true.
Like she heals, especially with her light cone, she heals herself.
Wouldn't you be able to run theoretically? Is it possible to run a no sustain Clarity?
I wouldn't because she is the extra taunt, but it's not like reliable enough. And there's AoE attacks, and she has no mitigation for the party.
I thought she did.
No, she does mitigation for herself.
Yeah.
No, I thought she lowered the damage that your team takes too.
No,
just
not by like a lot, just a little.
No.
Wow, what a terrible character.
This is your own fault. Yeah. I mean, it's you've created your own problem. Well, guys, it's been fun chatting with you, but as always, the West Coast is hitting dinner time.
Sure.
So it's about time for me to pop off here, but it's been a lot of fun. I look forward to finishing the Penacony story.
Yeah, let me know when you do. I want to have someone to talk to about it.
I look forward to Black Swan, and I'm absolutely looking forward to Acheron.
Yeah.
What's for dinner tonight?
My wife made bean soup last night, and we've got about a gallon of it left, and so I'll be having that tonight in leftovers.
I see.
Yeah, quite good. It's been very cold and rainy out here in California, which is something we're not accustomed to, and this is just about the perfect food for that kind of weather. So I'm looking.
Right.
Well, thank you as always for coming on, Now. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, finally somebody sane to talk to.
Always good to chat with you guys. Have fun, everyone, and take care. I'll look forward to next time.
Yeah,
sure.
See you later.
See you later.
Let me update Streamlabs as well so that anything we say past this point can't be falsely attributed to Now, so he doesn't get blamed for our shit takes. Why Black Swan is the worst DPS unit ever released.
This is why you should play DPS Natasha.
You mean Break Effect Natasha? Did you see that new Abundance light cone?
Hell yeah. This is still my favorite piece of art.
It's a really good.
I love this. I really would like to build Serval to do stuff.
I mean, you can.
Did I have anything else I need to do?
Did you finish that, Mosi?
I guess I could finish Memory of Chaos.
Yeah.
It's this one. I had to think about that way too long.
Oh, that's how you go. I just go to the Trailblaze. Oh, you're doing this. Okay.
So, we got some new updates, quality of life stuff in 2.0. We have a new destruction and a new nihility. I think we have a new harmony.
We do.
Question mark.
Yep.
Spot to farm at, which it's never great having, a new place that you have to go to farm instead of just being, oh man, let me farm nihility for a while. Now there's 2 different nihilities you got to farm, which is it's not ideal.
Yeah, I wish they would have just kept it at 1. I don't know why. Well, I mean, I guess I know why, but I'm not a big fan of it.
As a result, you can't it wasn't possible to pre-farm for Black Swan outside of the boss material.
Yeah.
Which it's fine, it's just not great. But it's always like that in every 0.0. At least in Genshin. So it's fine. One of the very, 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 very welcome quality of life improvements that we got was the ability to do to farm the calyx, the crimson calyx specifically, for whatever resource that you need prior to being able to unlock it directly if the character that you're farming for is on an active banner.
Yeah.
So for right now, you can do destruction for Misha and nihility for Black Swan, even if you haven't gone to open up that particular calyx, which the nihility one is in the Shinsho Lafu, the Lofa. That's how they pronounce it in Japanesese. This is a really great quality of life. Something that I experienced a lot, and I mean a lot of frustration with. I don't know if it's the same for Treevoid, but when I started playing Genshin, it was during the very tail end of the Inazuma story. It was in 2.
I think we started in
something.
2.6. The second half of 2.6, I think we started in.
Basically, I started at a period of time where Ito was on banner, and the very, very next banner was... Sorry, I started the day that Yelan left, and then Ito came in, and the other banner was Kazuha, like in the next patch. And it was really, really awful having to play through all of Mondstadt and all of Liyue, and play through most, if not all, of Inazuma in order to get to a place where I could farm the boss materials.
And the Oni Kabuto.
Yeah. for Kazuha and Ito, which, Kazuha quickly became one of my favorite characters because he's just really cool. And then I like Ito because I like Ito. How could you not?
Yeah.
Then it felt super bad not being able to play these characters because I had to jump through. It felt like a million hoops. I think I played for when I was playing this, I was playing no other games at the time outside of Defo. RIP Defo. This is its last month.
Ever.
Regardless, yeah. And I think that I had to wait over a month from pulling these characters to be able to build them. And I was playing... I would get home from work and I would hop on Genshin and I would play for 5 or 6 hours every day. It was awful. And it's really nice to know that whenever if I wanted to build Misha right now, I'm not far enough in the story, probably, or maybe I am. I don't know where this one is. That looks like the Scale Gorge. Right. This one right here?
The one you clicked on it didn't have the right drops. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That image is wrong. Whatever that preview is showing you, but yeah, but yeah, like it, as you said, like it's a great feature. I think Genshin sort of also realized that was really stupid thing because they've introduced a similar feature. And also, like, that was a particularly bad problem with Inazuma because it's
Yes.
fucking all the way off. You can't get there. So other regions aren't as bad. And that was actually one of the things I was kind of getting towards with how I didn't like how things were like locked behind story progression. Unlike how in Genshin you can just like explore the whole zone. Inazuma being the big exception. But the fact that they let you do it, at least for the on-banner characters, is nice. I wish they would have just done it for everything, not just the on-banner characters. Like, if you want to, let's say you're not pulling Black Swan or Misha, but you want to pre-farm for Sparkle, you can't until you unlock it in the story. And Sparkle's stuff is pretty far in. It's like 6 hours in before you can pre-farm for Sparkle. So that's kind of annoying. But overall, like, it's a good quality of life improvement.
Yeah. Additionally, one of the other things I really like, the drops from enemies that you need for different things. So like this one is originally from the Herda Station, and then we've got the stuff from Belobog. You can now farm them with your golden calyxes as you're going for XP books and weapon XP and even for credits. And you can do this for the different locations. This is really nice because it means you no longer have to go through and either be farming simulated universe for that stuff directly, because you do get those as drops in there as well. But also you don't have to sit there, and I didn't even realize this when I was doing this earlier because I was running through, and one of the quality of life improvements that they added a few patches ago was the ability to, pick an item. We'll say this one, and you could. Okay, well, I picked one that I already farmed out. So you could do this, and you could navigate, and it would tell you, hey, it would highlight the enemy on any given map, and it would go from enemy to enemy to enemy. And then when you ran out of them, it would say, hey, there's no more on this map. You can go to, you can fuck off to Belobog, or you can, go to some other place on the Lafu, whatever, to go farm that. It's nice having a spot where now, as you're going in and you're farming this stuff that you would be trying to pick up anyway, for growing your characters, now you don't have to worry about that stuff anymore, and that's really nice. It's just nice. It's convenient, and I think we all like convenience. I'm glad that this game has done away with a lot of the hassle of developing characters that I ran into a lot in Genshin. I don't mind having to kill a boss to get Ascension materials, right? But it's annoying when I have to wait for the boss to respawn.
Yeah.
Because, I've got to kill them. How many do you get in Genshin?
2 or 3.
You get 2 or 3, and you need 46. So you've got to do it 16 to 23 times.
Yeah.
Whereas here, not only do you have to do it less, you have to, at maximum level, you do 13 boss runs. And does it use the same amount of resin?
No, it's less here. It's 30. In
I was going to say, I think
40.
in Genshin it was 40. Yeah.
And Genshin's refresh rate is slower than Honkai's.
So you spend less time. It's quicker to farm the stuff because you need less of it. And you also get more. But you don't have to wait 5 minutes between runs or whatever it is for the boss to respawn. You just click the whatever it's called, the button to just do it again over and over and over again, and you're done. You can farm up all of the stuff that you need to fully ascend a character, at least in terms of the boss materials. It's 13 runs, so 390. That's a little over a day and a half's worth of energy, resin, whatever. Whereas, if you're having to do, we'll say, the minimum in Genshin of 16, that's 640 resin. Is that right?
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. And you cap at 180, which the cap here is a little bit higher. And it takes you 21 hours to get from 0 to that cap. So it takes substantially longer. It will take you like 4 or 5 days
Yeah.
instead of 1.5.
Yeah, and you also don't have to farm local specialties and wait for
Yes,
them
you
to
don't have to sit
respawn.
there and go through the map and pick up, the 16 different instances of X item, and then wait 2 days or is it 3 days for
Two
local
days.
specialists?
Yeah.
2 days, and then come back and get it again, and then wait a couple of days, and then come back and get some more, and then wait a couple of days and come back and get some more because another character's also going to use it. And it's so much simpler. You spend more time playing the stuff that you want to play in the game versus dealing with the tedium and the hassle in Genshin. However you feel about the gameplay in an action RPG, open world action RPG versus a less open turn-based RPG, that's up to you. That's not really something that I can, definitively say one way or the other. Hey, this is better, But eliminating just kind of bloat that nobody likes, nobody enjoys. I have never seen anybody say, "Oh man, you know what I love? Boss respawn timers." It's silly. All of that to say, I really enjoy a lot of the quality of life stuff that they've given us. That's just one that we got here. One of the other big ones, and Treevoid alluded to it a little bit earlier. Now we have the ability to come in here and I can do quick select. Yeah. So I can kill any relic that's 4 stars or lower, or I can come in here and just go, you know what? Let me just get the ones that I picked that I selected as trash. And I have the ability to choose whether I want relic remains or XP material now instead of just getting the relic remains. This is so nice.
Yeah, it makes managing relics so much faster.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It was kind of annoying before. This is great. Like I was hovering around 1400 and I've done a couple of purges. I got rid of all of my 4-star ones that aren't equipped, which you can see there's very, very little. I have this old piece of crap. I don't even know why he has that on, but whatever.
It's a memory.
And I'm slowly going through and I'm purging stuff that I'm realistically never going to use. Like, I'm not going to use HP, defense, or attack boots on basically any character. Almost every character you want speed boots. There are some that want attack boots. So I go through those on a case-by-case basis. If you look at certain sets, there's never a time on a DPS set like... We'll say this. The Prisoner in Deep Confinement, the dot set. I'm not ever going to want outgoing healing on this. I'm sure that someone
Until
could make
we get
the argument.
To the dot healer.
I'm sure that someone could make the argument that, oh, well, dot healer, for example. Or, well, you could use the 2-piece for Locha. No, just stop. I'm not using the follow-up set for defense until we get a defense scaling thing. But, this is an attack increase. If it's increasing my attack, then I'm probably not going to want an HP chest piece. Stuff like that. Where it's very unlikely that you're going to want. One of the things that I've been noting a lot here with Glamoth for the ropes, even though we have characters like Blade who scale with HP, I would never want to put this on him because it's giving you a bunch of attack. And yeah, you get some damage percent, but that's if you have a shit ton of speed, which you're not really going to be building a character like that for. You're going to be building, in his case, a lot of HP and crit stats.
And Blade's slow as shit anyway, so good luck getting him to 135.
You can do that. That's not that bad.
Right.
But you're never going to want an HP rope on this set. You're not going to want a defense rope because this is an attack scaling thing.
I mean, do you want a defense rope in general?
Can
you name one character who uses a defense rope?
There is an argument to be made for a defense rope on... You could make an argument for a defense rope. For March, you probably won't, but you could make a decent argument there. You probably could not for Japar.
He needs energy.
He needs the energy too much.
Yeah.
You might be able to for Trailblazer. Yeah. But for your abundance characters, specifically Bailu, Natasha, and Lynx, I probably wouldn't for Locha because he doesn't scale off HP. But for these three characters, and depending on if you have Fushuan's Light Cone, any of those characters could take a defense rope, and it would be pretty decent for them. Stacking HP is really good. You don't necessarily need energy for the healers like Lynx. I've got her with post-op conversation, so this will already get me a 3-turn ultimate. I think off of just basics.
Yeah, but Lynx is an HP scaler.
Yeah, but I don't need the energy, so I could put an HP rope on her.
Yeah,
and that would give me more healing. It would give her, a bigger buffer herself if she gets targeted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you could also put a defense rope on her and make her a little bit bulkier. That would be fine.
Yeah, it would be fine. I just don't. I wouldn't think it's like the.
I would call that personal preference.
Yeah. Well.
Sure. Whereas Fushuan, she actively wants HP and she actively wants defense. I doubled up. I have her light cone and I have an energy rope, which I'm probably wasting the rope, to be honest with you. So I could put a defense rope on her and it would be fine. Because you want both of those things.
Yeah.
But I have a shitload of defense on her as it is. So HP for my case, probably better. Yeah, Treevoid, why didn't you do that?
I told you. Everyone told you, Eamon. How's it going, by the way?
I didn't, but I don't know what that is. Also, hello. You may be pleased to know, Eamon, that in recognition of your devotion to making sure that I saw that Lee trailer, I have unblocked you on Discord. That was the tipping point. I said, all right, we'll give Eamon a shot.
No, Eamon is, obviously, like, I didn't know.
Maybe he's a good
early days
now.
Eamon. No, Eamon is very good now. Yeah. Eamon hangs out all the time. Him and Mino are like best friends now.
Oh God, I might have to reblock him. Ew, that looks bad. 110%.
What do you mean? That's a pretty good ratio.
That's a pretty good ratio. That is not.
I mean, one skews a bit towards crit rate and the other skews a bit towards... Oh, well, the light cone is fixing that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, his name is Ratio.
Yeah.
That was... Yeah.
He's kind of slow, though.
Yeah, a little bit.
You could juice it up.
I don't know how.
Oh, because your relics aren't even fully leveled. Like, the speed boots aren't even fully... Yeah.
It's only going to give him 5 speed.
I mean, the 5 speed is better than not 5 speed.
Yeah, but he needs another 6 after that to get
That's 3
thing.
substat rolls.
Yeah, but here's the thing. My relics for this fucking imaginary set are so piss poor.
I think the imaginary set is just a cursed set.
For me, yes.
No,
absolutely.
for me too. I farmed that for like a month, 2 months for Dan, and no, it was not good.
I have poured so much time and energy, literally energy, but also not literally energy, on that set.
Did you end up getting Tekken 8 Lion?
I did. Just want to point out which
Look at all
sets
the
I have
art.
the most relics on. The only thing that beats out imaginary is
The dot domain.
the dot domain, specifically the dot set. Because I
And
don't have that many.
Firesmith. Look at that, see?
Yeah, like this together is 124.
Yeah.
This is 172.
Yeah.
That's how much time I've spent there.
Well,
That's after
yeah,
all
I
the ones
mean-
I've thrown away.
You kept 100 fire pieces?
Surprisingly, my fire pieces have been the ones that turned out pretty well.
That's what happened to me too. That's why my topaz is still on a two-piece.
Like, look
Because
at
those
this.
fire ones are so good.
This is theoretically amazing.
Yeah, that's a pretty great boot. If only
Except
the
it's
mace,
attack boots.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, maybe this would be good on what's his face?
Ratio.
Yellow Dan.
Oh yeah, you could put on Del 2. Yeah. If you're running slow Dan, yeah, for sure. That's a good boot.
I was like, oh man, this started with double crit, and I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great. And then it started rolling crit rate. And I'm like, all right, cool. Then it rolled defense, and I'm like, that's less cool.
Is that one roll
And
of
then-
defense though?
I will show you.
I think that's fine.
See that? That's a 21. You see that? That's a lot bigger than a 21.
I was only looking
It rolled
at the-
into both
I
defenses.
was only looking at the percent. I was not looking at the
It
flat
rolled into
defense.
both of them. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck. Yeah. This
Even
is another
still,
great
I
quality
would
line.
roll that still.
This one, this is a hard maybe.
Yeah, that's tough.
When stuff starts rolling into flat all the time, this made me so mad. Like, as you go through, this happens a lot, where I get, oh, here's double crit. It rolls into nothing but flat defense. Here's double crit, rolls into flat defense. This is the best piece that I've gotten on this entire set ever. It's pretty decent, but
Yeah.
jeez.
I just hate crit rate body pieces.
Like, look at how many of these are locked and leveled. That's how much time I've spent in here.
Yeah.
It's really dumb, and I'm very upset knowing that it was all for nothing because I get to harp on the new one.
Well, I mean,
I don't have
you
to,
don't
but
have
the
to.
new one is good because it's a kind of general set.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
kind of. I think
of
it'll
fact.
become more general with time, but like, are there that many crit damage dealers that inflict debuffs?
They don't even have to inflict them.
Yeah, if they don't inflict it, it's okay. It's not.
I don't know
that
about
great.
you. I play almost every team with a character that has debuffs. Because I play Pella a lot.
Oh,
A lot.
That's fine. Like the two piece, yeah, of course you're gonna hit the two piece. I'm just talking about like if you're not the one inflicting the debuff, then you're only getting 4% crit rate and 12% crit damage.
I mean, most of the characters you would even put it on probably have a debuff of their own.
That's what I mean. Like how many characters are there that do
Like,
that?
I'm not necessarily going to put this on Argenti. But would I put it on Welt? Yes.
Yeah.
It's the damage percent part is a small increase, and the crit value is the exact same. So it's a tiny improvement. But if you look at what's a good one,
Like Himiko inflicts burn, right? Oh, but she wants to. Yeah, she'll only.
It's a
she
really
only wants the
weak
follow-up set.
burn.
No. I'm just thinking
And
of
it's-
crit-based DPSs who inflict a debuff.
The percentage chance is also really bad.
Yeah.
It's like 30%. Other characters that would potentially use this,
Like other.
if you wanted to play Serval on, if you were playing crit and you didn't want to run the break set,
Mhm.
that would be okay. Sushong, she doesn't directly inflict a debuff, but her whole kit is geared around breaking, and broken enemies all have debuffs on them of some kind.
Yeah.
Um,
But when you break an enemy, does that count as you inflicting a debuff?
So, for example, with Sushong, you hit them with physical break. Well, they have a bleed on them now. If you're talking about for the triggering attack,
I'm
probably
talking about
not.
for the triggering, yeah.
Probably
Yeah, because
not.
again, I don't think there's ever really a scenario where you're gonna go into a fight and the enemy will have no debuffs. That's super rare. I don't run any teams that have 0 debuffs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
You're
this
gonna
would
hit
be-
the 2 pieces for sure. No problem.
This would be good for Dan Heng.
Oh yeah, Dan
He
inflicts
has
slow
he
and
has a
yeah.
slow.
Yeah.
If you weren't running the, I don't know why it's so overtuned quantum set, you could pretty easily run that on Silver Wolf.
Yeah.
Or I don't know how the calculations work for high Eidolon Silver Wolf. Now that we have this new one, I don't know if you would want the crit stuff over defense ignore. Probably not.
I think the
I don't know how
defense
that
ignore
works.
is just always because people say run the quantum set against quantum weak enemies even if they're not a quantum unit. It's still the best DPS.
I don't know.
So yeah, I think it's fine. I wouldn't say it's quite like a general set. I still think it's a little bit niche, but at least for a two piece for sure. If you're running it a two piece, then yeah, it's a pretty general set. But the 4-piece I think is a little bit niche.
Yeah. What
Kafka
else?
come back. She just came back.
Yes, but I always need more Kafka in my life.
You only need one more.
What other quality of life stuff did we get?
We got the universal materials, although we did talk about that last stream.
Last time, yeah. Oh, one of the things that you can do, this is kind of weird. In your assignments, you now have the ability to send out assignments for this stuff, for crafting materials.
Yeah, you could always send out assignments for crafting materials.
Are you sure?
Yeah, they had always had the 3rd tab. I don't think anyone
Really?
ever. Yeah,
Oh,
it's just
okay.
you would never. Why would you ever do that? So,
Well,
but
fine.
yeah.
They added these two. I also appreciate that at the very least, once I got them, or I guess I didn't get them. Anyways,
Yeah, it'll
you
launch
can
right
now
away.
get these as well.
Yep.
So that's pretty neat.
And that's what I shifted mine to, because I need the Black Swan stuff.
Black Swan doesn't use it.
Oh, does she not? Oh no, she doesn't. She uses the inter.
She uses the circly thing.
Yeah, which is weird. I don't know why she does. But
This one, yeah.
oh.
What else?
Well, I need to switch it back. I think I was doing Misha's one then, and I am not building Misha.
But why not?
He's
Gosh.
whew, he is a character of all time.
He might be really good.
Yeah,
You haven't built him, so you don't know.
I do not like that kit.
And there's not any guides out right now, so it's hard to say if he's any good. Or
Yeah, I think there's a reason why there's no Misha guides out.
Obviously we got the new light cones for the
Forgotten Hall shop.
the shop. Yeah, that was what we were going over. It was literally what we were talking about as the stream was starting. Personally, I'm really interested in the abundance one. I think that one could be really interesting. I already was looking forward to Gallagher because I like his design. So I'm really hoping that this light cone plays into some kind of. What I was telling Treevoid was I'm hoping, fingers crossed. I don't have any knowledge because I don't follow leaks. I don't do that. I'm really hoping that Gallagher is a character who cuts his HP blade style in order to heal his allies. I think that's super cool. So that's what I want.
I think Gallagher sort of falls into the adventuring quote unquote issue that we were discussing earlier, where it's sustain units are the current sustain roster is so strong that I just feel like unless they're bringing something really new to the table, I don't see why I would use a new one or pull a new one. But yeah, I'm hoping that he is interesting in the way he works. They haven't really had too many like dud characters in general, so I have high hopes. But the first 4-star of 2.0 is not a good precursor.
This one.
Oh yeah, I don't know why that's on Misha, because that is.
This is pretty good on paper.
That seems like Shui's best 4-star Lycon. That seems like made for Shui.
Let me go to the data bank. This one. So at max, it's 56 break effect, which is pretty good, and then 30 crit rate for 2 turns after using your ultimate.
Yeah,
that's a lot of crit rate.
Yeah. So Misha can make use of the crit rate because his ultimate charge is very fast, but ice break effect is not something that you're aiming for. So, but that's very good for Shui, because like obviously she's split scaling, so it's great for her. I think that's what Sign's using.
Is it?
I think so. I know he was talking about it a lot. But it is a gotcha like cone. So getting it to S5 is RNG dependent.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about Shui other than she's Space Hu Tao and Quantum, and something about she did toughness damage.
I mean,
or something.
We spent a good chunk of time on her last stream.
Look, that was last stream, and I have slept and played Judgment since then. So
yeah, there are no other destruction units that really care about break effect. So
really.
Not enough that you would be like, oh, I really want 56% break effect.
I mean, I want 56 break effect on everybody. Maybe not enough to build it, but
that's what I mean. Like, I guess you could get extra break effect on Clara, and and the crit rate is good because Clara struggles with crit rate, but there's other Lycons that provide a lot more stats. Yeah, I think it's one of her traces that gives her the split scaling with the break effect. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This one, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would be really good on her then. 56%?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's like her best in slot. Should be. Because she's taking maximum value out of both of those stats that she's getting.
What was I looking for? Oh. 120. That's okay, I guess.
Yeah. Like, she wouldn't have, like, full uptime on the crit rate, but she would still have pretty decent uptime on it. And the break effect is constant. I mean, unless you run her with, like, a Tingyun. Or a Huahua.
Just imagine her with a big hat, and she's rapping.
I
for no reason.
No. But she doesn't have the star eyes.
Yeah, but she has weird eyes.
Are they?
Yes.
I don't know. Especially in a game like this, there are some weird eyes. Like, this is not an adventuring eye situation.
Yeah, we got... Okay, see, look, that's normal. That is not normal. Her eyes look weird. They're weird. They're weird. I don't like this. Yeah, why are Aventurine's eyes... let me see here. His iris is purple and then green.
I think it's
purple and then blue.
I think it's they keep being like racist towards him, like
racist.
Like they mention a couple times like, oh, you're from X planet. So I think it's like a racial thing. Like it might be just like where he's from.
I thought that they kept bringing up his planet for like plot reasons, like, oh, his planet's been destroyed, or it's a planet full of gamp. You know how they mention like, oh, Silverwolf is from Punk
X-Plant.
Lord,
Yeah.
and they have like a habit of, like they're that's their big thing is it's the gaming planet.
Yeah.
Or Kafka is from wherever Kafka is from, and they have no fear. Which, I mean, that makes Kafka a sociopath, but that's beside the point. I just assumed that there was something going on like that, like people from, I think it's Sigonia.
Yeah.
They're, compulsive gamblers or something.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Speaking of which, that reminds me.
Are you gambling?
One thing. Where's the thing I want? Sure, whatever. We'll go here.
Okay, did Jokes Come True refresh, by the way?
I don't know. Why is he here?
Why is
with
he here?
What I can only assume is Ratio.
That's Dr. Ratio, yeah.
Holding a gun on him. Why are they in different outfits?
Did you read
what is going on here?
Did you read the lore blurb?
I don't know how to read in italics.
You don't believe me? He provocatively looks at the man before him, then draws out a revolver, empties its cylinder, and leaves a single shot in the chamber. Seems like I'll need to get you up to speed on how I do things in our cooperation, or if our cooperation were to remain amicable. He pushes the gun into his opponent's hand, spins the cylinder, and points the barrel to his own chest. He pulls the trigger repeatedly, and the smile on his face remains the same after 3 empty clicks. Life is always a grand gamble, and I'll always be the final victor.
He gives me big villain vibes. Not like big villain, like, oh man, he's the one behind everything.
Not like Fantilia, but like, I don't know, like it's like Sampo, like, oh, kind of smarmy vibes.
No. Like, the best example I can use, and apparently this is something people have been talking about, is Child, where he's not the bad guy, but ultimately he is a bad guy.
I think it. I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Is he a bad guy?
Yes, he's one of the Fatui.
We
had to fight him.
Yeah.
He did a whaling.
We did
He
fight
manipulated
him.
us.
Did he? Or did Signora manipulate him? And Signora and Zhongli kind of did everything.
But then he also was trying to manipulate us into doing a thing. It was a whole thing.
Yeah.
And he made us fight a whale.
And ever since we've been bros.
Yeah, but he was a bad guy at the time.
He
was trying to kill us.
We were just having a fight. Two bros having a fight.
It's just a prank,
in a bank.
Bro.
Yeah.
Speaking of just a prank, you know what would be a really funny prank? If you press the subscribe button and you smash the like button.
If you press the subscribe and like button, maybe Signora will come back.
Oh my god, can I press? Where do I press the button? Right, you were asking about Jokes Come True.
It did refresh. Okay.
I didn't buy one last time.
Maybe it didn't refresh then. I don't know.
I forgot to buy one.
Okay, yeah.
I imagine
I may have also not bought one.
Because wouldn't it refresh every pure fiction cycle specifically?
Well, I mean, you get the feathers from Memory of Chaos too.
Yeah, but you can't buy it straight out. You have to do both of them.
Yeah.
To be able to get the modeling resin.
Mm-hmm.
So one assumes that it did? I don't know. I truly do not. Let's see. Let's just buy it.
Yeah, it's not like you're not gonna buy it.
Of course not.
Yeah.
My relic luck fucking sucks. What I started doing was I started going through with this set, and I just started taking these like the regular.
Oh, that's how you had so many. I was like, wow, he farmed it a lot already.
No, I just did this shit.
Yeah, I think I only use the relic pieces for the planar sets.
This came out really well.
Wow, that's a great piece. That's a really good piece.
I was really pleased with this.
Yeah, all
no
good rolls.
Dead rolls.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm very, very happy. So I need a headpiece.
Started as a 3-piece?
4-piece.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, no, you're right. It was 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you're right. I had some good 4-pieces that started well, and then they did not end well.
Yeah, that has 1 roll into crit rate. Yeah.
1, 2, 3. No, it wasn't this one. I don't remember which ones it was on this set.
That's a 4-piece.
No, it's a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this one isn't either. Which this is pretty decent for Welt.
Or ratio.
Because I do need a little effect hit rate on him.
Yeah.
With the light cone I have him on, it gives him 24%. He needs to get to 43. So I don't need a ton, but I do need some.
Yeah, here and there.
Yeah. But 100% I'm using this. Like, how would I not? So let's embrace my inner adventurine, and let's roll the dice. I didn't know that you could do it like this. This feels like the strong box.
Rolling 10 at once.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would roll it. If I see speed in any one good stat, I keep it. Speed, I feel like, is impossible to find.
Yeah, I guess I could try it.
See, that's kind of iffy.
I don't want to try that, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would do that, yeah. Oh, yeah. See?
No.
Market is trash, then.
Okay, you're right. Trash you. And you.
Definitely this one. This is... Whew.
Oh, that was one thing about this set. I appreciate that this set is damage and crit. This could be good for any character that scales off of any stat other than... Like, any stat at all.
Any crit DPS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could be a set... If you wanted to, not to say that you would, but if you wanted to run this on Blade, you could. Or whoever.
Yeah.
So for future characters, this could be really.
If you have a defense scaling DPS or an attack, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Which it would be nice if that were to happen. If I had this set for all of those fucking defense double crit things that popped up, I got so mad at the number of like, oh, here's a defense chest piece. It's got double crit and speed on it.
Like, in theory, let's say like Adventuring is like a sub DPS. If you put him on the light cone that inflicts burn, that would be inflicting a debuff, and then you could use this set on him.
It's true.
Yeah, like that might not work at all, but just like, you know, it allows the possibility of it, which I think is cool.
Right. Let's see what we can get. Can we get some? Oh, that's another one.
Yeah,
that's another one.
The...
I've got the auto add button, so now I don't have to worry about it, and it just takes me to 3. or 6 or whatever. Ugh.
Break effect. That's not bad. Could be worse.
We're done here.
What? Oh, come on. I would keep rolling. I would not give up.
I'll allow
On a
them
double
one,
crit? Come on.
I'll allow them one bad roll, but at this point, even
That
if
only
it
had
rolled,
one bad roll.
and it rolled into break effect.
Well, what are you looking for? Attack percent?
Or effect hit rate, yes.
Or speed?
But at this point, if all 3 of the other rolls were, let's say, crit damage, because this is fucking easier to calculate, and they were all max roll, I would hit 24, 25 crit rate or crit damage.
Yeah.
Like, it would have to roll nothing but crit at this point.
Yeah, I mean, that's 50% chance.
Ugh.
I would keep rolling. Hey, look at that.
At this point, because it's rolled into one of the stats that I want, I'm willing to go one more. Now we're done.
So picky.
I mean, these are the pieces that are easier to get.
Oh, you're low on relic materials.
Yeah.
I would not. You got to salvage. Oh, you're only adding 3 stars. You have so many 4 stars. Where do you get all those 4-star relic experience from? Oh, you don't use it.
Yeah, I never use those.
Oh.
Unless it's from 12 to 15. I don't want to call it superstitious. I use these for 12 to 15 for characters that I really like, where I'm like, okay, look how much I'm giving up to make this work.
There's so much. You have 500 of them. That's crazy.
Do I have anything else that's trash? Let's pick you. Yeah, it's unlikely that this is of use to me. Okay.
Look at that. It keeps winning.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not. We're not doing that. Yeah, we're not doing that.
Now it's a lot of effect hit rate. Four-star or below.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It is 4-star, you're right. Damn it. Still, though. Not bad. It's not ideal.
Yeah.
It's okay. It leaves room for improvement, but that's... We need the effect hit rate. We need the crit rate. So, add to this. That's what, 12.2 crit rate? It's okay. It's not amazing. It's not terrible. It's all right. I really, really like this quality of life where you can see where your rolls went. That's great. It's the kind of thing that I've been hoping that they would do for a while. I don't think that they have that in Genshin.
Have what, sorry?
The indicator here.
No.
That is
The leveling up based off next breakpoint is. But I don't believe you see your substat rolls.
What else do we want to sacrifice here? What's a weird one that I'll never use? See, so these are all of the outgoing healing pieces that I have. It's pretty unlikely that I'm going to use this. Hypothetically speaking, if there were a dot-based healer, they would need to scale off of attack, and I would need to... Well, they'd have to scale off attack, period. And even then, this is two flats. And I don't like double flat. That kind of kills a piece for me. Unless I'm desperate.
I wouldn't do it anyways. Yeah, I think it's not good.
Whereas, like, on this one, this is an HP set. Where I actually like the two-piece here. The two-piece of this and two-piece... Wandering Cloud. I couldn't think of what it was called.
For the damage mitigation.
For the healing. The healer set.
Oh.
So
I do the shield one, the Wuthering Guard or something.
Wuthering Snow, I really like this one as well. And this would also be one I would be okay with getting something like this one. I didn't want a healing one for Fushuen, but if it came to it, I was going to use this. So these two I'm cool with keeping. And plenty of my healers. Musketeer isn't the best. I think I would go 4-piece of Wandering Cloud before I would do that.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I have Locha on a 2-piece. I think it's this and the other one. So this could be decent, but this has no attack stats. So, trash.
Hello, Window. Yeah, this is the secret Star Ocean ending.
Yeah, it's got star in the name and everything. And this is another one where it's like, yeah, maybe. I could see a world where this would be useful. So, we'll salvage these 3. Oh, I want XP this time, though. Oh, the flexibility. But yeah, those are some of the different quality of life type
new
things
features that we've gotten.
Yeah, those are fucking great.
Yeah. Star Rail is a JRPG.
Is it a CRPG?
No. No, nowhere close.
Isn't it?
No.
Quite literally?
Yeah. I don't.
Is where the developers are from. CRPG.
Oh, I see. A different kind of CRPG.
Yeah. Quick thoughts. What did you think of the last the events in the 1.6? Yeah.
I can only recall one being Golden Gear and the other being the fight the bosses with the trial characters, and then they introduced the despair mode, where you were like fighting the deer and fighting Yangsheng and
what about the breeding event?
Oh yeah, there was the raising the pets thing. I mean, like that event plus the actual story chapter. Ruan Mei is a terrible person.
She is definitely a sociopath.
Yeah,
100%.
Not good at all. Very, very bad person.
But in a hot way.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, the actual event itself was, like, fine. I wasn't crazy about it, but I didn't dislike it. The narrative behind it is, like, crazy, though. Like, Rowan May's got crazy eyes. Come on. She's got, like, the red and, yeah.
I still would.
Yeah. So that was fine. I liked the like challenge event that we had. I thought that was pretty fun, and I really liked Golden Gears. So I thought the events are overall pretty okay for 1.6. I'm interested to see what the 2.0 events will be.
She's packing a little.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah, Kafka and Black Swans have a
I gotta check out the
model.
important things. All right. Oh yes, you are not kidding. Holy shit, Black Swan is stacked. Let me, because that was one thing I definitely checked out as well. Sheesh.
Yeah.
She has
Her and Kafka, I think, share the same model, but Rowan Maze is physically like a little bit smaller.
Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah.
You're right.
You probably not infinite EXP in Dell, because if you're farming like overworld mobs, they
run
end up,
out.
but and the other one needs energy, but you can do a lot of experience.
It's really, really slow too. As a point of reference, I leveled my Japard up to level 79. And I played with him for a few weeks because he was the basis of my Kafka team. Yeah, he still hasn't made it to.
Yeah, we need more clickbait titles
Oh
in
my
Doe. I
God.
agree.
Oh my God. Well, once I start getting into what do you call it? Relink, 100% I'm gonna do that. Because I see some big numbers. Some relink content creators hitting, 45K views in a day or two.
Yeah,
Which is really good.
I'm curious to see if Relink will have the longevity that, like, let's say, like Monster Hunter World did.
Man, I sure hope so. Holy shit.
I guess it depends on how like its support is long term.
I would like to be able to go, hey, what's going on, guys? Eric's here, coming at you with another Grand Blue Fantasy Relink video. Except without the accent, because I can't do whatever accent he does.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with Eric.
I am not, but I am very familiar with the YouTuber intro.
Eric's is one of the people that got me into
Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter build crafting specifically, as well as some stuff for Elden Ring. How have you not heard of Eric's? They're well, it used to be a single guy, but now it's I think two of them. They're very, very big on YouTube.
I may have seen some of their Elden Ring videos then, but I mean, I don't fuck with Monster Hunter, so.
For shame.
I
you should fuck with Relink because it's really good and it's
fun. I played the demo. It was like fun, but there's a lot of things going on, right? Like I was doing Genshin 4.4. I've been doing Honkai 2.0. The FF7 Rebirth demo just came out. I know you don't like it. Persona 3 Reload just came out. Like there's a lot of game.
I like that I didn't even have to say it.
Yeah, there's a lot of games coming out right now. So like, I mean, I might get to it eventually, but I'm not in like a rush.
Very quickly, my friend, my good friend, one of my best friends, in fact, perhaps my best friend, was posting a bunch of stuff in our Discord chat. I didn't even know.
Why would you attack this innocent vase?
Okay, that's different. I didn't know that there had been some new stuff from, I guess it's State of Play, from the whatever it's called, Final Fantasy VII, the next one.
Yeah.
It seems like it might be better than the last one, but maybe it's because they're actually getting out of fucking Midgar. But it's got stuff, with Vincent and the Temple of the Ancients, and it showed a bunch of the stuff from Junon and them being on the ship, which is a lot more interesting to me than what's in Midgar. Midgar's fucking boring. So possibly interesting. But I still stand by the
Should have been HD
not-
2D.
I'm not interested in playing a game that's like a remake, but also a prequel. That's also a sequel, but it's also a multiverse game that's trying to no. Just stop. Just stop. Make the game that you know people wanted you to make. And just take your money.
Well, I think they are.
Stop trying to get creative. Stop trying to get creative.
I
Just stop
disagree.
it.
But
Make me another Star Ocean.
Yeah. Indo says, remake sucks. So
That's why Indo was fucking based out of his mind at all times.
Yeah, I also can't wait for mobile Elden Ring Indo. That'll be so much
I
fun.
saw that. It's like,
I saw someone make a fake like Genshin wish screen for Elden Ring. It was pretty good. I'll see if I can find it and link it.
I lost my 50-50 to Soldier of Godric. I was trying to pull Melania.
Whack it again.
Why don't you live in a vase? Yeah. I love that response. Universe is an infinite bird cage.
I can't believe you just unlocked a random like Lofu.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I don't remember there being a vase over here. I never come to this area. I am destined for greatness. Spotless vacuum. Oh my god, and you want me to dig through the trash? Say less. I love that that's one of the memes that the community has adopted because the developers just... I don't know why, what possessed them to do it, but I appreciate that that is something that they programmed into the game was just... There's all kinds of stuff for you to interact with, and some of them it's like, oh, okay, you interact with it and you get what you would expect, and then there's the really weird ones. Like you can hide inside of an armoire and jump out and try and scare somebody that's coming in to clean the room. Or, the various digging through the trash ones. They're great. I really, really like this game and its sense of humor.
Yeah, continues to build on that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Panaconi also has some quest mechanics that I don't like, but for the most part, I think it's a pretty solid change.
This should tell you where I am in this game.
Yes, very early on.
Yes.
Yeah. But you've met most of the characters, I think.
But what I will say is that I fucking hate this thing.
Do your sticker book.
I don't like it.
Do your sticker book. Pick up your stickers, put in the pictures.
But I don't want to put stickers on.
Oh, it doesn't matter where you place them. You can just...
But you have to put them on here?
Yeah.
To get progression?
Yeah, but you can overlay them. It doesn't matter.
Oh my god, I hate that. I don't like this.
2 memories. You can rotate it if you want. Look, it's a squad. Look, you can make it bigger. Don't forget to go over to your other tabs and you got to do all the tabs.
But see, I can't put her under the X because she seems very uninteresting. Yeah, but I don't have any more stickers, and I don't...
Yeah, you got stuff in number 4. See? You got the thing.
Yeah, haven't done this yet. I haven't decided what my opinion is yet. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of this. Like the do your own decoration, that part's fine, but the fact that you have to place stickers a specific number, it's very Office Space. How many pieces of flair do you have? And I don't like that.
It's their exploration reward. Because stickers are like, you get them as you explore. Like, there's a sticker right behind you.
Yes, but where's the tree? That's the important thing.
You will unlock the tree in like 30 to 40 minutes.
Is there really a tree?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, see, there's the sticker. Hey, look who it is. It's Ratio.
Also, to those of you who I'm certain have recently hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell for notifications, maybe you're leaving a comment down below to tell us about how much you love Black Swan and the amount of junk in the trunk of her vehicle that she has. If you are someone who, in response to the controversy that shall not be specifically addressed with regards to Genshin Impact, if you're one of those people whose response was to, L plus Dr. Ratio type thing, you're a piece of shit and you're unfunny, and you should probably delete your... I don't know. Delete something. Uninstall the game. Maybe not uninstall the game. That won't have any effect. You should just delete your account. Go with that. Start a new account. And then pull some more to make up for the fact that you've been a piece of shit to people. Hello, Sephi.
Hello, Sephi.
Yes. Because it's very cringe. Yes. Space Woman. We like Space Woman.
Yeah, I don't like the belt hanging off her headpiece. That's the only thing I don't really like about the design. But other than that, I think it's a cool design.
Why is it a U shape?
I don't know why she has a belt on her head.
If only I could, Sephi, because she got the goods. Sir, that was one of the first things that I checked once I got out of the menu because I wanted to know. It's important. Shut up.
Yeah. I also am not a super big fan of how like the main outfit for like all the women is kind of like the same outfit.
It is kind of samey.
Yeah.
It's very noticeable with her and Renmei.
Yeah.
In particular. That being said. Whoops. I do like what they did. One of the things that I've noticed they've been doing a lot, especially here lately, is characters' eyes. I really like what they did with hers, where you can kind of see the stars lit up in there.
Do you like her back mole?
Her what?
Her back mole.
Oh, I didn't know that was there. This is a character who she made me want to play in English. Because I saw the what was it, Myriad Celestia, like the very first trailer that they did for it, where it was just her talking a bunch of nonsense and just the sound of the voice actress. It was very appealing. Indo, her feet have boots, so
yeah, heel boots.
Unfortunately, there's no feet to show off. And I mean, I guess you could say that belts are kind of like bandages. She's more of a Nomura type character.
As you're hanging out in Space Vegas, she's got all the cards ready.
Exactly.
SMH.
This place is so weird. Look, there's a Moogle right there.
Yeah, I don't know why all the children have little pom-poms on their head. Yeah, oh, don't worry, Sephi. They're not kids. They're all like 50 to 60-year-olds.
Yeah, they're very weird.
Yeah, it's anime bullshit.
I don't understand why they have so many people that, like Dr. Ratio, have a bust on their head. Like, what's the story with
I
that?
think it has to do with the Intelligentsia Guild. I think that's just kind of like their thing.
Oh, is that their thing?
I think so. Oh, hey, look! Moving billboards! This is the future you aspire for. Now the signs will follow you!
Get away from me, you freak! Yes, Sephi, pedos be like. Pedos are the sign.
Oh yeah, and there's like actual traffic here. It's pretty cool.
Oh, I can knock it out.
You assaulted it.
That's cool. I didn't know you could do that. Leave me alone. I just want to hold up traffic.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Try holding up traffic.
Hey, hey!
Hey!
What did I get?
You got the achievement. Rules are made to be broken. That's what the Trailblazer says when they do their ultimate.
Get hit by a vehicle. Does that go in your the bulletin?
Yeah, it does not.
Then what was the thing that I got?
You got the achievement.
No, there was a thing about a clipping.
Oh, that might be one of it might be a stamp. Because there's text stamps as well. But you have to make your decision first.
I don't wanna.
The phone should show your time. I don't think it gives your time zone.
What do you mean?
Right.
Where does it show the time?
Oh, it doesn't? Oh, I thought it did.
Oh.
Oh.
What are you talking about, Sephi?
Sephi gaslit me into thinking there was a feature in the game that hasn't been there ever.
Yeah, I don't think there's a... It would be nice if there was a thing like in an MMO where it's like, oh, here's what time it is.
Here's the Eorzea time. Oh, you have one message from March that isn't finished yet. Oh, it's her personal quest.
Yeah.
Do you?
Oh man,
do you
I'm gonna
not do
start
the
getting
personal
some
quests?
from. I haven't done most of them yet.
Oh.
I've only done a few.
I think you should do them.
Get ready.
Yeah. The story quests are not like Genshin story quests. Like,
I still need to do this one.
which
Like,
one?
I'm interested. This is the second part of 1.6.
Oh, you should probably do that.
I just got really tired of fucking around in that little area. Yeah, I've done a few of these. Is there a way to look at the ones that I've completed?
Maybe in Fate's Atlas, it'll tell you which ones you've done. And then you scroll back. Because it divides it up by region. Yeah. So you did whichever those two are. I guess Arland and Astas, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I would recommend finishing the 1.6 story before you do the 2.0 story. Yeah, you did Natasha's. You haven't done Hook's.
It's because I fucking hate Hook. I can't stand her.
There's one
She's
there.
so annoying.
Maybe Clara's is that one?
I haven't done. Yeah.
I would at least say you should do the ones for the Shanjo characters. Because all of those are like pretty important information for the story of the Shanjo Lofu. Specifically Don Hung's and Jing Liu's. Especially Jing Liu's.
But I don't want to. I don't want to do Hooks.
You don't have to do Hooks.
Okay.
I just said, like, do Don Hong and do and do Jing Liu. Those ones are important. And definitely do the Black Swan one. Once you finish the story of 2.0.
Oh, these are new. Okay.
Well, I wouldn't say new.
This one definitely is. I think.
No.
Isn't it?
No.
Whatever. I've been too busy avoiding playing Destiny.
Yeah.
And...
to not play Honkai.
Yeah, exactly. I don't really care for Dan. And...
I don't like. I don't consider them character
it's...
stories. Is what I'm
what
saying.
Is this?
I think that's the Pokemon.
Ormalley. That's Ormalley, yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
And then we got through this. This one lasted forever. Holy shit. Oh, look at that. I'm halfway through.
That is a lie. Wow. That is not an accurate representation of the breakdown in terms of content.
Surely it must be.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I already did it.
Yeah, sometimes they don't go away and it's very annoying.
I haven't done these. Oh! Here we go!
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy!
Now you can try out that Misha gameplay.
Character regenerates energy and increases their hits per action. Ultimate can freeze enemies. Oh man, I'm gonna mop the floor with you. What the fuck was that?
He,
what is,
it's
what
a
is he
stop.
Throwing? What is he throwing at them?
It's a time grenade.
Minor ice damage. Deals ice damage. So blast. Okay. Increases your hit count. So this is Lightning Lord, sort of.
Yeah.
And the ultimate is Sampo's skill, but also Lightning Lord with freeze. Next ultimate. Yeah. Okay. So he wants his allies to use a lot of skill points, but also he kind of wants to use them.
Yeah. And he wants to spam his ultimate. Hence why they give you Hanya. This is not an E4 Pella, so you do not get the extra Ice Shred.
Holds mop more aggressively. I really like that ultimate animation of
Yeah,
onions.
it's good.
That is not who you're supposed to attack.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, here we go, max alt. Wow.
Crit stats aren't great.
Where's the
Yeah,
altar?
these are decently leveled.
Misha would be at the bottom. Indo.
Fall of an Aeon, Superimposition 1. He's 80 out of 80. That's an okay amount of attack, I guess. Holy shit, that's so much speed.
Hanya.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's one hit? Bro.
Yeah. Misha.
What are you doing?
Misha is a character that exists in this game.
What are you doing, Misha?
Yeah, I feel like Misha is the first 4-star that I've just been like, wow, this is the first unit that I have no interest in at all.
What about Hook?
Like, a unit that was released after release. Okay, let's see if we get that freeze proc. Oh,
Okay, that doesn't seem fair because it's a break.
It's a break, yeah. So, what'd you think?
I don't know. Crit damage was really low because he only had 100%. His ratio is pretty bad, so hard to say. Here's a character I know I don't like.
You have him. You don't like him so much that you have him at E1.
That's true. I do dislike him that much. I'm still really salty about that too.
All for Yukons, right? Or was it Tingyuns?
I wanted one Yukong. Yeah. One, so I could get to E2.
Do you have E2 Yukon?
I fucking do now.
Do you use her?
Sometimes, yes. It's one of those, I wanted her so I could play her with Welt,
yeah.
But you have to speed tune that entire team around that thing.
Yeah, that's Yukon.
Yeah. And I want to make sure that...
That was suboptimal Danhun gameplay, by the way. You should have ulted at the end of his turn, not on the enemy turn, so that you would get all the buffs from the ult. Or from the 3 skill basic attack. You can see that increased destruction aggro taking effect.
See, it doesn't even work.
Well,
what are you talking about?
In that case, you should have ulted beforehand because you wasted the energy from the 3 skill.
See, nothing I do is ever good enough. I'm being gaslit live.
It's suboptimal, Lion. Oh, you even do the 4-star characters?
Oh, of course.
Oh, I don't.
Man, it's free stuff.
Yeah, if it's good stuff. Like, I did it for Misha because you get the new drops. But for the old characters, I don't care.
Plus, Gwenifin is literally the embodiment of our channel. Like and subscribe.
Subscribe for more.
Subscribe for more, yeah. Plus, she's got to ring the alarm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Smashing that bell. Break effect Asta, let's go.
That is not who you're supposed to be attacking, sir.
You didn't put the taunt up.
I still don't understand what I'm supposed to ultimate with Asta.
I think in non-MOC content, it doesn't matter because there's no turns, so you're not like trying to optimize turn count.
Yeah, but I still don't know.
I think you just ult it on cooldown.
Look at all that damage. Here's a character I don't know how to play either.
Very complicated character.
Goddamn furry, I would never. I don't even know what this button does. I'm just pressing it.
Wow, what a tough enemy they put you up against.
Is it just this one? Oh my god, it's just the two of us. Holy shit. This definitely is not my Ting Yun.
Okay, dance, good. That's the right light cone.
It's the wrong superimposition. The talent levels aren't correct.
Yeah, it's the trial character.
Yeah.
Woo,
Let me use
Moz,
mine,
welcome
please.
you.
Look at this. Look at this. That's after her buff. This is terrible.
Is your physical trailblazer built?
Of course, because you had to build the physical blazer for quite a while before you could get the fire one, which was way better, and it's still way better,
Oh,
and it's still pretty useful.
yeah. I mean, the physical one is just not useful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Physical one fucking sucks. God damn it! I forgot to hit that before the thing. Guess we'll
Wasted
E. Yeah. But it's okay. So I'm gonna suboptimally ult here instead. Go for the break. And push damage.
There we go. Ting Yun showcase.
More importantly, the really fun character. There are multiple ways to apply special damage over time. She can trigger special effects based on the number of stacks. Tompo and Guanithan. Oh my god.
They're not going to give you a 5-star.
No, I just think it's very funny. Because now you can do this.
All that effect resistance.
You know what? It's still going to apply, so that's all that matters. And then... Yes, actually, I will take that. $91. Eh. There we go. Okay.
Is it going to be enough?
I'm only up to 8 stacks, guys. I'm only up to 5 stacks of wind shear.
There we go.
Backloaded damage. Oh.
I don't know what that achievement is. Mr. Worldwide. You made so many Sampo teams.
Apparently. I mean, he used to be in this team.
Yeah.
So that was 3 characters, but then it had Fushwen, so that's 4. And before that, it was Japard and I think Pella. So that's 5, 6. I don't know.
6 out of 20, almost there.
Yeah. These 2 are fun.
Yeah.
This one's quite entertaining with the ultimate chain. I like that a lot.
Unlimited alt works.
Yes. And how I could I am the ratio of my chalk. Reminds me of the old Batmobile.
Yeah. Yeah, Penacony has some interesting designs. Oh, look, it's Robin on a billboard.
No, that's definitely that other person that you were talking about earlier.
Oh my god, this guy. But I think we've covered most of everything. Was there anything else in particular you wanted to go over?
Yeah, why are there pool balls and a fish in that rainbow pie?
Haven't you watched Futurama? This is the land of the future.
Oh my god. You mean the world of tomorrow?
Yes.
But then there's a fish over here. I'm walking here.
In the middle of the road.
Look. There's a fish. Is that an egg? I think that's an egg.
I think it's
I think this is supposed to be ramen, question mark?
I don't know.
I don't know, because the inside part is that yellowy color, and I could see where you would say orange, but I could also see it's an egg, like they put in ramen.
Could be.
With the fish eggs or whatever the crap that is.
Caviar.
Assuming that that's what it is.
I think it's too big to be caviar.
That's what I think too.
Yeah.
So I guess they want you to eat marbles. What the fuck? I don't like that at all.
Those are your new barrels.
I'm gonna steal this. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's just traffic accident. Oh, I'm gonna juke him.
Juke into him?
Yeah. This reminds me of insurance fraud in Saints Row.
Oh my. You're stalling traffic.
Intentionally. But yes. Any closing thoughts, Treevoid?
I'm just really satisfied with 2.0 so far. Again, I had like that minor gripe about the zone pacing, but other than that, I'm liking where the story is going. I'm interested to see what they do with 2.1 and 2.2. Not a big fan of it being a 7-week patch cycle, but I understand it's a whole new zone. And yeah, really like the story. And do the Black Swan story quest. Treat it like it's part of the main quest, because it is.
Oh, it's that serious.
Yeah. I would also say the same of the Jingliu story quest.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't want to go over there.
Oh no, run away from the plot.
I'm gonna.
Yeah. Anything else you wanted to add, Lion?
I don't think so. I'm finally having a chance to enjoy more games. With Destiny being in its current state, where it's a 7-month long season instead of approximately 3 months. Um, they're doing stuff, but I'm not really playing it very much. There's been a lot of upheaval as well, and just it's nice checking out of that so I can experience other stuff.
Yeah.
Be it Persona 4, hopefully someday Persona 3. I got back into Monster Hunter with my friend, which if you're watching, just stop. I'll play again probably tomorrow. You don't have to ask.
Yeah.
And if you are watching this, yeah, I'm talking about you, Paul. Um, Gunlance and Charge Blade. What up? But and we've been playing a lot of Yakuza, and it's nice to get away from the stuff where it just feels kind of like a job to play stuff
Yep.
all the time.
Yep.
So this is going to be a good year for games, I think. I'm really excited about Relink and playing that some more. It's kind of sucked lately that I say lately, it's only been a few days. But I've just been, we just had this come out, and I wanted to get my Black Swan ready because I figured there was a good chance I would need to stream with her, and I just haven't had a whole lot of time for anything. So, but it's been nice being able to have some time to play whatever. I've been reading a little bit lately, here before bed. So, it's good. Things are good.
Tekken 8?
I don't even remember what I was talking about. I have not been playing that much Tekken 8.
Oh.
I played a little bit. I'm not sure where to begin learning how to learn my character.
Oh, I see.
I went into practice mode, and I started doing like the combo challenges.
Mm-hmm.
And I was getting really frustrated with one of them in particular, which I finally managed to pull it off after like probably 20 minutes of practicing. But it also seems like hyper specific and not like something you would ever really use.
Yeah. It's far too situational.
It requires you to use a specific move that you may or may not use anyway. But it's a combo on counter hit only because it's a like a floor bounce.
Yeah.
And then it turns into like a whole juggle thing, and it's, I don't know. We'll see. I think that there were so many good games coming out like right together, because within what 5, 6, we'll say 6 days, there was Tekken 8, Grand Blue, and Persona.
And Infinite Wealth.
And
obviously
yeah.
we're not on that yet, but
So
yeah, it's a stacked month.
yeah. And I kind of want to buy I'm thinking leverless to try and learn Tekken 8.
A stick? Or...
leverless, no lever.
Oh, okay.
No stick, I should say.
Yeah.
Just buttons.
Yeah.
Which, realistically, I could just do that with the fucking keyboard and mouse, I'm sure, but it's not the same. Probably.
Just get good.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of friends in that other Discord server that are also playing Tekken 8, and I need to be able to beat at least one of them.
Yeah, well, you gotta get on the grind.
It's true.
You can't beat them if you're not playing.
They've both been playing. I know Blair has been playing presumably a lot of June. But prior to her being added here in Tekken 8, he was playing Nina in 7. So we'll see. And then my other friend has picked up Kazuya. He's always been a Kazuya fan. So we'll see.
You really have it out for that guy.
I don't like the way he's looking at me. But yeah. Thank you for watching, everyone. What are we doing tomorrow? Are we doing Judgment or Kiwami?
I think it's Kiwami.
I really hope it's Kiwami because holy shit, we have a lot of Yakuza to get through.
We've got a lot of Yakuza to get through. But we're doing it. We're making our way, you know. Kiwami 2 is it's going by quick.
That is true.
Yeah.
It's been blazing a trail, so to speak.
And then in theory we'll be doing the Let's Watch for 3 and 4, and then we'll pick it back up for 5, and we'll see depending on how long it is. And 6. And 7 and 8 we might rejig the stream schedule. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll consult with our peers who have already completed them. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone, for tuning in to our 1.6 and 2.0 stream. We will be back in 7 weeks for 2.1 and either adventuring or Acheron's banner and gameplay. So
yes.
Yeah. On that note, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you all tomorrow. Have a good one, folks.